the tone early to have some better success. Trying to get him there on the mound, interesting story, will be Matt Gabbert, a right-hander, who is originally not too far away from where we are right here in Missoula. Gabbert grew up in the Spokane area, so I've seen a number of Go Hawks signs and that sort of thing from on the first base side of the field. I'm sure there's a good chance that those are family members of Gabbert that have made the trip over to Missoula. Obviously, from the Spokane area, much closer to come here to Missoula than it would be to try to make a trip out to Boise. So, makes sense that he would have a lot of family members come out and check things out here. Gabbert, an interesting story also, in that he is only 20 years old. Yes, players typically in the Pioneer League are not seasoned veterans. Average age around 23, 24 years old. But 20 years old, that's quite young for a player in the Pioneer League. And a big reason why he is pitching at this level is because A, Gabbert out of high school signed with Boise State, and their program no longer exists due to Title IX. So that kind of put Gabbert in a bind when the program was disbanded. Also, you throw in the factor of the COVID-19 pandemic, also in that, Gabbert was just looking for a home. Well, who came calling? His old manager from college, Gary Vantall, who was the manager of the Boise State Broncos, and he makes his way out to pro ball. Gabbert, this is his second year with Boise State, with the Boise Hawks. He was a utility arm last year, made some extended stints out of the bullpen, also was a starter. Faced Missoula quite often, did Gabbert last year, having appeared in 7 games against the Paddleheads as both the reliever and starter a year ago. Last time he appeared against the Paddleheads was in the winner-take-all Game 3 of the Pioneer League Championship Series last September that went Missoula's way by a final tally of 14-1. Gabbert didn't receive a decision in that ball game, but was a part of it. And it's been a bit of an up-and-down year for Matt Gabbert looking at it this season. Even 4-4 record for Gabbert. Guy typically when he's on is going to be around the zone. Same has been true this season as it was last year. Only walked 13 batters in 61 2/3. So far this season in 56 2/3 innings, Gabbert has walked 11. So a guy you're going to see a lot of strikes from, and on a night where the starting pitcher last night, Mike Peterson, only made it through the first inning. Sure, Gabbert will look to go deeper in this one opposite Mark Timmons, a right-hander who has been pretty solid so far this season for the Missoula Paddleheads. Rookie out of the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Mark Timmons also had a very good outing last time he faced off with these Boise Hawks, and it was in a tough circumstance as well. It was back on July the 2nd. Reason it was a tough deal was because the night prior, Paddleheads played a game here in Missoula, and then that same night got on the team charter, drove overnight to Boise, then had to pitch that same next night. So that's a tough thing to have to go out and deal with, but Timmons was great in that circumstance. 5 1/3 inning, only gave up 2 hits opposite this Boise club. So we'll see if Timmons can find some more success tonight in this series finale as the Paddleheads look to break out the brooms and Boise looks to get out of here with at least 1 win in this 3-game set. Got manager Gary Vantall and Michael Schlack out, meeting right now at home plate, chatting things up, exchanging lineup cards. So let's go ahead and peek at the 2 lineups for tonight's ball game. Boise Hawks wearing their black alternate uniforms tonight, switching things up from the road grays, and when you've lost 2 games the way you have, why not switch up the wardrobe? Tyler Jorgensen will be back in his normal leadoff position. He's been the leadoff man in just about every game for the Boise Hawks this season. Last night was in the 9-hole, though. Jorgensen will lead things off tonight in center field. Abraham Sequeira, who we've seen in the 2 spot through this series, but not defensively. He's been the DH in the first 2 games, but tonight is starting at third base, batting second. Juan Teixeira, once again, bats third, the right fielder, with Jacob Cruz. Different defensive spot for him. We've seen him at first base through the first 2 games, tonight in left field. Raymond Gill is back in the 5 spot in the order for Boise, as he has been in the first 2 games of this series. But tonight, Gill not out there defensively. He is the DH. He had some struggles defensively last night, so I'm sure that's a big reason why the Hawks decided to slot him into that DH spot, maybe get a little mental refresh after a couple of errors he committed in last night's game. Ryan Wallstad got a start last night, also appeared as a pinch hitter in Game 1. He's back in the starting lineup for the 2nd day in a row. Wallstad at first base tonight, batting 6th with Trevor Minder. In the 7th spot, the shortstop. Jordan Rathbone, who we saw in left field in Game 1, is doing the catching tonight, batting 8th with Aloha Dudois back at his normal spot, second base, winding out the order for the Boise Hawks tonight with the Spokane native Matt Gabbert on the hill. Sammy B just about ready to bring the paddleheads out for the top half of the first inning. So while the starters are introduced here at the field, we'll go ahead and take a peek at Michael Schlack's lineup. Paddleheads are rocking the tie-dye uniforms tonight, and starting things out, as he has for the first 2 games, will be Brandon Riley. Been a lot of success offensively for this Paddlehead lineup, not a ton of changes, and why would there be? After a night you score 14 runs, Brandon Riley in left field starts it out. Keaton Greenwald's, we've seen him slotted into this 2-hole last 4-6 games or so for Greenwald's, where we've seen him more towards the 6 or 7 spot through a large part of the season, but Greenwald's been swinging the bat well, so Greenwald back up at the 2 spot. So he will be in the 2nd spot as the center fielder. Nick Gatewood had a big night last night, 3 hits, also 4 RBIs for Gatewood. He is the DH, batting 3rd with Jason Newman cleaning things up, the first baseman. Typically have seen Lamar Sparks in the 3 spot this season, but tonight moves down to the 5-hole. Sparks in right field, still his normal defensive position. Cam Thompson will bat 6th. He's the 3rd baseman with Cam Willman batting 7th, the shortstop. So those 2 guys switching defense or batting order spots from where they were last night was Thompson in the 7-hole and Willman up in the 6th spot. Andrew Noviello made his Paddlehead debut last night as a defensive substitution in the middle innings. Noviello made some waves in his couple of at-bats. He had also 3 RBIs for the former Ogden Raptor, but Noviello will get his first start tonight for the Missoula Paddleheads. He will bat 8th and play catcher with Patrick Chung, guy that's been a nice story for the Paddleheads in 11 games played for Missoula so far. Chung, a guy that's bounced around a few different teams in the Pioneer, definitely has found a home, though, here in Missoula. Chung, the utility infielder, the 2nd baseman tonight, will wind out the order for the Paddleheads with the right-hander Mark Timmons getting the ball tonight for the Missoula Paddleheads. So a few changes. No McLean O'Connor tonight for the Missoula Paddleheads. Also seeing Noviello behind the plate, where we've seen now 3 different catchers in this series. Saw Nick Cece start behind the plate in Game 1. It was Nick Gatewood in Game 2. And now Andrew Noviello starting Game 3. It will be interesting to see, I mentioned this last night as well, to see how the Paddleheads share the weight at that catcher's spot. Mark Timmons just getting brought onto the field now, along with the rest of the Paddleheads. We're just about set for action here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Just about ready to start off this ball game series finale between the Boise Hawks and the Missoula Paddleheads. Stick around, folks. We got more coming up from the ballpark after this on ESPN Radio.
or on the TuneIn Radio app. Now, back to the ballpark.
We're just about set for the top half of the first inning. We got Designer going on the loudspeakers before the top half of the first, so that means one thing. Mark Timmons is ready for the top half of the first inning. His walkout music, Timmy Turner, has kind of become like a well-known commodity around the clubhouse. So whenever that song pops on, at this point, maybe forever, I'll always think of the right-hander out of University of Nebraska, Omaha, Mark Timmons. Defense behind Timmons for the top half of the first inning looks like this, starting the outfield. Same outfield we've seen through the 3 games. We'll take a look at them, though. Keaton Greenwald, center field, with Brandon Riley in left field, Lamar Sparks in right. That's your outfield across the board. Left side of the infield occupied by Cam Thompson at third base, Cam Willman, the shortstop. On the left side of the infield, Patrick Chung, second base. Jason Newman is at first, with Andrew Noviello putting down the signs for the right-hander Mark Timmons. In this top of the first inning, we'll see Tyler Jorgensen, Abraham Sequeira, and then Juan Teixeira, 1, 2, 3, for the Boise Hawks. Jorgensen trying to get going this 3-game series. Whether he's been in the top of the order or in the 9 spot, he's not recorded a hit in the first 2 games, 0 for 7, seen his average drop down to 267. Timmons in the box, on the mound rather. First pitch is down low, and we get underway at 7:17. Mark Timmons, this is start number 12 on the year, is second on the team in starts behind Austin Croson, who has started 13 games. 1-0 pitch is just a bit low. So 2 low pitches for Mark Timmons. 44 Ks and 53 1/3, only 15 walks, a guy that will typically pitch to contact and does so very well with a slider. Fastball with a lot of movement as well. 2-0, called strike on the inside corner. Fastball that will be around 86 to 88 miles an hour, but moves it well laterally and horizontally. When he's on, you'll see a lot of ground balls and weak contact. The 2-1 pitch is another strike, bottom part of the zone. Attacking with the fastball. Tyler Jorgensen, Abraham Sequeira to follow. Offense very quiet for the most part for Boise last night. Just 2 runs, 2-2 pitches bounced over the top of Sequeira's head on the left side. The Hawks were able to get on the board despite losing 14-2. Almost surprising that they actually scored first. The Hawks scoring an unearned run in the top of the first inning, a play that featured 2 errors. 2-2 to Jorgensen. Here it comes from Timmons. This one fouled at home plate. Going after him with a slider that just dove right in towards the inside corner. A tough pitch to pick up from the left side. Jorgensen hit it right off of his front foot, it looks like, also dealing with some pain. So Jorgensen shaken up, now getting back into the box from the left side. But battling in this at-bat early, trying to get himself on base, trying to get the offense started early. I think that will be huge for the Hawks tonight. If they can get out to an early start, get some good vibes going. The 2-2 pitch, just off the plate. Fastball misses. Clearly off the plate by a little bit. Noviello did a nice job trying to frame that pitch up on the outside corner. Give the umpire a good look at it. But Michael Chuckerman said, no, sir. 3-2 to Tyler Jorgensen. A good at-bat to start it off for the Hawks. The payoff from Timmons. This one a ground ball to the right of second base. Patrick Chung jumps up, throws down low, and Newman can't handle it. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. I think that Jorgensen had beat it out to first base on the throw from Chung either way. So that will be an infield single for Tyler Jorgensen. Ended up making very weak contact, but battling away in that AB was Tyler Jorgensen, and he is rewarded with an infield single. So that's one step in the right direction if you're Boise, Tyler Jorgensen finally picking up a hit. Went 0 for 3 in game 2 last night, 0 for 4 in game 1. Abraham Sequeira to the dish now. Another left-handed bat. Timmons delivers. This one misses down low. 1 ball, no strikes. And who knows, may not even be the performance on the field that a lot of folks are here for tonight, as the 1-0 pitch is just outside again, makes the count 2 balls and no strikes. So it's also karaoke night here at the ballpark. So I'm sure in between innings, fans will be belting it out to their favorite karaoke tracks. 2-0 to Sequeira, just getting things started, top of the first inning. The pitch is just a bit low again. 3 ball, no strike count. Pretty close. Fastball towards the bottom of the zone, but not getting the call there. So Timmons, a little bit of a blip here in the top of the first, trying to get out of the gates. Hawks trying to jump on the board first. The 3-0 is not close. Ball 4, easy take. Fastball way below the knees. It's the first 2 batters of the first inning get on base for the Boise Hawks. That brings their most productive hitter to the plate. So this is exactly what you're looking for if you're a Boise fan. Seeing by far their best hitter coming to the dish with 2 runners on right out of bed. Juan Teixeira, .358 average, team best 66 RBIs. Leads the team in doubles as well, 11 RBIs. He was the man that put Boise up early in the first inning yesterday, an RBI single, scoring Dubois, who was on at second, swing and a miss at the first pitch. A breaking ball towards the outside corner. Teixeira well out in front of a slider towards the outside. Good idea from Timmons in that spot, fooling Teixeira with the off speed to jump ahead 0-1. Infield single from Jorgensen, a walk for Sequeira. They're on at first and second. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball towards Willman at shortstop. He'll flip back to Chung for 1 on to first, and it is in time. They got him. 6-4-3, double play. That ball took Willman to the left just a bit, but Chung was able to make a quick exchange back to first. That was the key, and they get the twin killing. That brings Jacob Cruz into the box. So everything lining up the way Boise wanted it. Their RBI man, team leader in batting average at the plate with runners on base, and he grounds into a double play. Jacob Cruz to the box now. First pitch to him is way outside. Fastball misses. So Timmons, chance now to get out of this inning unscathed. Still dealing with 1 runner on at third base. In this spot, it's Jorgensen. The 1-0 to Cruz. At the knees, called a strike. Fastball towards the outside corner. Kind of wrapping around the outside with some movement vertically and horizontally. No score, top 1. Timmons looking to keep it there with the runner on at third with 2 outs. Cruz, 62 RBIs this year. The 1-1 pitch. This one shot out towards center field. Moving to the right a bit is Keaton Greenwald. He's going to make the play for out number 3. So the double play ball, a big key in the top of the first inning for Timmons. He escapes the frame unscathed. We'll head to the bottom half of the first. No score at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio for Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula.
Hey, this is manager Michael Schlack, and you're listening to Missoula PaddleHeads Baseball on ESPN Missoula 102.9.
Brandon Riley at the plate, leading off what is the bottom half of the first inning here at Allegiance Field. No score in the top of the first, after the top of the first. First two batters of the inning for Boise got aboard. Double play ball, got Timmons partially out of the jam. 0-1 pitch is a ball hit out towards left field with some carry. Going back is Cruz, the left fielder, looking up at the wall. Brandon Riley goes deep, going the opposite way, down the left field line. Another home run for B-Rye, his 12th. It's been a power surge for Brandon Riley at the plate, and he gets the Paddleheads out in front early, 1-0. Home run number 12 for Riley, RBI number 48. Mentioned it's been a power surge for Riley. That is his 5th home run in his last 9 games played. So the home run power has really been coming on for Brandon Riley. In general, the way he swung the bat in the second half, he has been one of Missoula's best offensive weapons. Really has been coming on strong as Riley. It's Keaton Greenwald in the box, 1-0 count against the right-hander Matt Gabbert. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball towards the outside, strike one. Gabbert features a big curveball from the right side. Fastball with some pretty good giddy-up on it as well. Will sit in the low 90s. Returner from a year ago. The 1-1 pitch from Gabbert. This ground ball past a dive of the third baseman Sakara into left field. A base hit for Keaton Greenwald. So Paddleheads come right out to start things out for the third night in a row. Quick start in each of these 3 games opposite the Hawks. And when you've been struggling like Boise has been, that makes it even tougher mentally. Get yourself up for a ball game. When you've been getting crushed in all aspects, really, especially last night, a 14-2 win for the Paddleheads as Gatewood swings and misses at the first pitch he sees, a fastball on the inside, 0-1. But to see things going against you right out of the chute, it's tough mentally. You're thinking, oh no, here we go again, if you're a Boise Hawk. 1-0, Paddleheads lead it after one batter in the first inning. 0-1 is a line drive base hit to right field. Keaton Greenwald will put on the brakes at second base. Nick Gatewood, a big night last night, had 4 RBIs, 3 hits. A quick start here. Hammers that one to right field. 103 miles an hour off the bat as Jason Newman will step in. For Matt Gabbert, this is his 12th start of the year. 4-4 record for Gabbert, a 6.83 ERA. 61 Ks in 56 2/3 innings. So the strikeout numbers are a little bit better for Gabbert. And for the most part, Gabbert has had a good season. He's just had 3 or 4 rough outings that has seen his ERA balloon up. Last year, a 5.55 ERA in 14 appearances. First pitch, a swing and a miss. Actually, a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Rathbone. Defense for Boise in the outfield, Jacob Cruz in left, Tyler Jorgensen center field with Juan Teixeira in right. That's the outfield. Sakara, the third baseman, with Minder at shortstop on the left side of the infield for the Hawks. Dudois, second baseman, Ryan Wallstad at first. Rathbone behind the plate doing the catching for the 20-year-old right-hander out of Spokane Central Valley High School, Matt Gabbert. 0-1 to Jason Newman. Had a nice night last night, a couple of hits as the 0-1 skips into Rathbone. Keeping it close enough so neither runner looks to advance. So far, everything going against the script that the Hawks probably wanted. We got off to a quick start offensively. First inning, couple batters on base. Double play ball kills the rally, no run score. First batter in the bottom half of the inning comes up. boom, a home run. Paddleheads jump out early, 1-0. Now they continue to threaten with 2 runners on and nobody out. The 1-1 to Jason Newman. It's fouled away to the right. Fastball trying to go the opposite way. Was Newman there? Fastball with some sink to the bottom portion of the zone on the inside, but Newman fouls it off to the right. Lamar Sparks to follow. Greenwald, the lead runner at second base, Gatewood at first. 1-2 to Jason Newman. Gabbert peeks behind him. The pitch, 1-2, ground ball towards the middle. Dudois has it go off his glove, off to the right. Here comes Greenwald around from third. He's going to score to make the score 2-0. That ball took a crazy carom off of something. I'm not sure what it hit on its way out towards Dudois, the second baseman, but he couldn't handle it. It was a sharply hit ball off the bat of Newman, but with the middle infield in double play depth, thought it would be a spot where you'd see Dudois get to it, but he did not. So a run comes in to score. That will be scored as a base hit for Jason Newman and an RBI. That's going to immediately see the pitching coach, Van Kampen, come out and talk with Gabbert. Things not starting the way Gabbert wanted. First 4 batters of this inning have all reached. Was the home run for Riley on the first batter of this inning, then 3 consecutive sharply hit line drives after that to set it up here for Lamar Sparks, as there's still nobody out. Missoula trying to build up a rally like they did in the first inning last night, immediately putting the Hawks under a barrel, so to speak. A 7-run rally in the first inning yesterday. Lamar Sparks with 2 runners on, nobody out. Gabbert trying to stop the bleeding. First pitch, Sparks hits one high in the air, down the right field line. Teixeira at the wall is going to see this one bounce off the bottom of the wall. Gatewood had to wait to see if they were going to be able to make the play, so he stops at third. And the bases are now loaded on what ended up being just a very long single for Lamar Sparks. Not a base running mistake there. It was just a high fly ball going down the right field line towards that short porch. And the runners had to hold up to make sure that Teixeira wasn't going to be able to make a catch at the wall in right. He did not. So now the bases are loaded with nobody out for Cam Thompson. That's where you feel for Gabbert a bit. That ball's hit in Boise. That's a routine fly ball out. First pitch to Cam Thompson, hit the other way, foul. Off to the left. Going with the location. But the Paddleheads, as I mentioned in the open, very familiar with Gabbert going back to last year. He made 7 appearances against Missoula. 6 last year, made a start also in July at Memorial Stadium. A 1 pitch, this one a foul off. 0-2. And it seems like Paddleheads surely have gotten the memo about Gabbert being a guy that's been mainly around the zone. They've just been attacking at the dish, swinging early and often in the count. We've seen a lot of pitches right out over the plate, too. The 0-2 to Thompson, foul away. Fastball right in the meat of the zone, 2-strike count. 5 batters to the dish so far in the bottom of the first inning and 5 base hits. 2 runs also already on the board as the Paddleheads have jumped out to an early advantage in the first inning for the 3rd consecutive game. The 0-2 from Gabbert. This is a line drive, base hit to center field. Off a breaking ball. Gatewood scores. Newman will stop at third base. An RBI single for Cam Thompson. Just a rocket right back up the middle. 48th RBI on the season for Thompson. And that was just a mistake from Gabbert in a 2-strike count. Was well ahead in the count and just hung a curveball right at the belt. And against a professional lineup like this, that is a pitch you just cannot make. So it's now 6 in a row that have reached. 6 hits in a row, a home run, and then 5 singles. This half inning, Cam Willman will look to keep it going. First pitch, Willman swings and misses at a fastball. 0-1. And it looks like Boise may have to get some bullpen activity going early for the second night in a row, as the 0-1 is down low. Count even at a ball and a strike. So just saw Sean Skelly, catcher on the roster for the Hawks, who's not out there starting tonight, head down towards the pen. 1-1 pitch. Willman swings and misses at a fastball. Belt high or maybe just a hair a bit above it. Gabbert desperately looking for an out here in any way that he can get it. Newman at third, Sparks at second, Thompson at first. 6 hits in this half inning. The 1-2 pitch to Willman. Ground ball towards the middle, through the middle, a base hit again. As Newman will score. Right behind is Lamar Sparks. A 2-run, 2-strike single for Cam Willman. Makes it 5-0 Paddleheads. Now in 30 ribbies is Willman, his 30th and 31st RBI. As this avalanche from the Paddleheads just will not stop. Andrew Noviella will now come into the box. Unbelievable. 7 batters to the plate, 7 hits in a row. What a way to start it out. 5 runs on the board as well as Noviello goes the other way. Skips one to the left side. This one's under the glove of Minder, the shortstop. Just barely keeping it on the infield or close to it to keep another run off the board. But that's another base hit. Unbelievable. That's the 8th hit in a row. As Patrick Chung, the 9th batter in the order for the Paddleheads, will stand in with nobody out and the bases loaded. Patrick Chung, this being his 11th game with the Paddleheads, or has played in 11, I should say. What a find he has proven to be. This utility infield spot, 455 and 33 at-bats. First pitch, Chung hits a high hopper, foul on the first base side, 0-1. And I'm sure if you're the Hawks, seeing that one skip towards first, you're thinking, oh no, this thing's going to skip right past Wallstad at first over his head, isn't it? But it was a foul ball. That's the way this inning's been going for him, anyway. The 0-1. Chung takes one in the dirt. A breaking ball misses. A ball and a strike the count. Paddleheads have put these runs together with decent regularity. That's what makes it wild. Thinking back towards the end of the first half also, they had rallies of 12 and 15 innings in one frame. As the 1-1's a little bloop out towards shallow right center. This one is going to get down for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score as the Cams will come racing home. Chung will advance towards second base on the throw towards third. Even a little flare gets down on a broken bat as this rally just continues for the Paddleheads. What a start in this half inning. As Noviello makes it into third base, Chung into second with a single and 2 RBIs. As Brandon Riley will come to the plate for the second time with no outs recorded in the frame. I don't believe the Paddleheads have done that this year, where they have batted all the way around the order and have not recorded an out while doing so. Unreal. First pitch to Brandon Riley is up high. He got this whole party started with a solo home run. And the rest of his pals just followed right behind with 8 singles in a row. 1-0 pitch to Riley. This one hit the other way again, down the left field line, but this one will hook foul towards the grassy knoll. So we got a football score now in the bottom of the first inning. Touchdown and the PAT is good here in the first inning, 7-0 the score. And fitting, we got preseason NFL football going on tonight. We got a football score. 1-1 pitch on the way to Brandon Riley. Curveball misses down low. 2-ball, 1 strike count. My team will be playing their first preseason game tomorrow. I believe they're in San Francisco, if my memory does not deceive me. Green Bay Packers is who I'm talking about. 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball just above the belt. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Missoula, a very interesting football town. Obviously, the Grizz, definitely a big part of the football scene here in Missoula. But NFL-wise, it's kind of a mixed bag as the 2-2 pitch misses up high. With there being no pro team in Montana, people are all over the map. Like an example, local watering hole Reds is actually a Browns backer bar. 3-2 pitch is a ball skied into center field, hit pretty well. Jorgensen drifting to the right is underneath it in right center, and he puts it away. But this will lead to a run, as coming in to score from third is Noviello on the sacrifice fly from Brandon Riley. So Boise finally records an out in this half inning. That's the good news. The bad news is that out leads to another run for the Paddleheads, who apparently felt like they wanted to go for a 2-point conversion, as they are now up 8-0 in the bottom half of the first inning. As Keaton Greenwald will step in. And the approach from the Paddleheads, I think in this inning, really showcased what this team does so well at the plate. 1 through 9 coming at you like an avalanche, just no weak spots, A. B, guys not up there trying to play hero ball, all with their approach at the plate. 1-0 pitch is outside from Gabbert, makes the count quickly 2-0. So when you pick up 8 singles in a row, that just means solid contact and good execution. The 2-0 is a called strike on the inside part of the plate. Because when you do that and you can execute like that, stay in your approach, just makes it very tough to face from an opposition standpoint. The 2-1 is a rocket base hit to left center field. So the singles just keep on coming. It's a 9-run rally in the bottom half of the first inning. Keaton Greenwald has now singled twice in the frame and has brought in a run, as Nick Gatewood will look to keep it going. 9 runs on 10 hits in the first inning for the Paddleheads. Nick Gatewood will be the batter now. He hammered a base hit to right. Should almost talk about where the base hit went, not if he recorded a hit or not, as he grounds one over the top of Wallstad's head into right field. Greenwald on his horse is going to make it all the way to third, as Gatewood singles for the second time. Just unbelievable. 11 hits now in the frame, 10 of them singles. The only extra base hit we've seen in this inning was the home run to start it off by Brandon Riley. As Jason Newman will bat once again. So we're still in this first inning, as the Paddleheads just keep on rallying on. Jason Newman looking to join the 2-hit club. He checks his swing at a breaking ball towards the outside part of the plate. Now Mark Timmons, the starter, he's going down to the pen trying to keep himself loose. He's been hanging around for so long with this offense rallying. The 0-1 is a half swing and a miss by Newman. Was way out in front of a breaking ball. Jason Newman got the scoring started in the first inning. An RBI single towards the middle. Bounced off the glove of Dudois at second base. Runners on still at the corners. It's Greenwald at third with Gatewood at first. Second time through the order. 0-2 pitch to Newman. Swinging a ground ball through the right side. Base hit for Newman and another RBI. His second hit and second ribby of the ball game. Brings his total up to 93 on the season. As Lamar Sparks jumps in. Remember, the only out that's been recorded was by the 10th batter of this inning, Brandon Riley. Lamar Sparks in the box now. And the out that was recorded was a productive one. Brought in a run as Sparks takes just outside for ball one. And you have to wonder when some bullpen activity will get started for Boise, because Gabbert has been out there laboring in this first inning. 1-0 pitch to Sparks. This is a fly ball, dead center field, now drifting a bit to the right. Underneath it is Jorgensen in medium depth center. He has it for out number 2. So Sparks records the second out of the frame, going after a fastball towards the bottom of the zone, unable to barrel it up. And now we're going to see some bullpen activity starting for Boise off to the right. So it may be a situation like what we saw last night. The starter come out after the first inning. This has just been a rough day for Gabbert. 10-0 now the score. Cam Thompson with 2 runners on. Swings and hits one down the right field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is foul. Pitch right out over the plate. Thompson jumped on it, just couldn't quite straighten it out. This is Missoula's now 3rd rally this year, scoring 10 runs or more in one inning. Unbelievable. 0-1 with 2 outs, and they still got a chance for more as Thompson fouls off the 0-1 pitch. Fastball towards the inner half. Count is 0-2. And after going through last 2 games like you have, if you're the Hawks, you got to wonder what's rattling around in the minds of these Boise players after another rough beginning. Byron Smith is the man in the Hawk bullpen warming for Boise. The 0-2 pitch. Hit out towards left. Hit pretty well. Cruz going back at the wall. It's off the wall. As Gatewood will come in to score, Newman stops at third. Into second base is Thompson with an RBI double to make it 11-0. Just absurd. 18th double of the year for Cam Thompson. As Cam Willman will stand in. Now Thompson, Newman, Gatewood, Greenwald all have recorded 2 hits in this inning. Not the game, this inning. My goodness. First pitch to Willman is up high. A ball, no strikes the count. The biggest rally the Paddleheads have had at home this year was a 15-run rally as Willman fouls off the 0-1 pitch to the right. That was in action against the Glacier Range Riders. Also had a rally of 12 runs on the last day of the first half against Great Falls on the road. 2 runners on at second and third still with 2 outs. The 1-1 is fouled to the right. And the craziest thing about the rally they had on a Sunday afternoon against Glacier in the month of July was that a bulk of that came with 2 outs. Just had this streak go with 2 away. The 1-2 pitch, Willman takes outside. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Touchdown now. Gabbert is Spokane native. has a contingent of fans sitting on the first base side. This has been rough. 2-2 is a high fly ball down the right field line. Teixeira looking up, and this ball is foul. Had home run distance going down the line in right, but could not keep it fair was Willman. So he gets back into the box. And the other wild part about it, with all these base hits in the inning, now 13 of them, only 2 have been extra base hits. The 2-2 pitch. This one a ground ball up the middle, a base hit for Willman. As Newman comes in to score, right behind is Cam Thompson, as the score is now 13-0. Just a curveball right out over the plate. And Willman goes right back up the middle. Willman joins the 2-hit club in this inning, as Andrew Noviello will be the batter. Willman has 4 RBIs in this inning alone, as Gary Van Tol is going to come out of the dugout, and this most likely will be the end of the road for Matt Gabbert. Sure, this is an outing that the young right-hander will want to forget, as he will come off the mound having recorded just 2 outs here in the first inning, and the Hawks are going to the pen. This half inning is not concluded. The Paddleheads have put 13 runs and 14 hits on the board. Man, we'll keep the first inning going after this.
Grizz Hockey season tickets are on sale now. Get your season tickets today and never miss a game due to a sellout crowd, and enjoy extra savings on every game. There are 3 different types of tickets. Reserved seating means you have your own assigned seat for the entire season. General admission is standing room on the north and south ends of the rink, or the student section for UM students. There will be 16 home games this year, and the team is looking even better with tons of new talent joining what was already a strong roster from last season. Get your Grizz Hockey season tickets today at grizzhockey.com.
Like most Montanans, we love a good steak. And because we're the Montana Club, we take the steaks we serve very seriously. We're confident to say that our custom grilled steaks are as good a steak as you're going to get. Now we're proud to add regularly sourced, naturally raised Castle Rock bison ribeye to our selection. And remember, the Montana Club steak entrees include the sides. Come into the Montana Club today for an unrivaled steak experience. The Montana Club on Brooks and North Reserve, Missoula.
No. When it comes to distracted driving, just don't. Sending a text takes your eyes off the road for just 5 seconds, but in that time, your car can travel the length of an entire football field. Any distracted driving just isn't worth it.
Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Back to live local play-by-play on 102.9 ESPN Missoula.
We're back here in the first inning. You know, typically step away in the middle of a frame in the first inning. That's because the Paddleheads offense could not be stopped with Matt Gabbert on the mound. 13 runs on 14 hits to start things out. Just absolutely unbelievable. And Boise in a spot now, having been thoroughly defeated the last 2 games. They're in a really tough position now with this huge deficit only in the first inning. Surely thinking that if it stays like this, it will be a long ride home after the game tonight. As Andrew Noviello will stand in. Noviello, the 8th batter in the order. Paddleheads coming through the order for the 2nd time. First pitch on the way from Byron Smith. Misses up high and outside. So Byron Smith making his 2nd appearance in this series for the Hawks. I'm sure making a stint out of the pen much sooner than what Gary Van Tol hoped. 1-0 pitch to Noviello. This is a ball shot towards right center field. Going back is Teixeira looking up. This ball's into the alleyway in right center. Willman is going to make the turn and head home and bring the Paddleheads' 14th run in. They are one away from tying that 15-run rally they had earlier this year. My word, Noviello joins the two-hit club in this inning. That's now occupied by Noviello, Cam Willman, Cam Thompson, Jason Newman, Nick Gatewood, and Keaton Greenwald. Those are all the batters that have 2 hits in this inning. My word, 15 hits in the first for the Paddleheads and 14 runs. Just absolutely ridiculous. First pitch to Chung is a strike on the outside part of the plate. And at this point, you're almost surprised when an out is recorded. I mean, this is just unlike anything that probably most folks have ever seen. Brandon Riley in the on-deck circle's got a huge smile on his face. The 0-1 pitch misses down and away. Because if Chung records a hit, we'd see Riley bat for the 3rd time in the first inning. I mean, that's just not something you ever see in baseball. 1-1 to Chung. The pitch with 2 outs is a strike at the knees. Matt Gabbert taking the vast bulk of this, but even when Nelson came out, it was Noviello staying hot at the plate, hammering a double into right center field off of him. So it doesn't matter who's out there. 1-2 with 2 away. The pitch to Patrick Chung. This is a ball hit the other way, left center field. Looks playable, though, for Cruz. He's underneath it, and that is finally the end of the first inning. 14 runs on 15 hits for the Missoula Paddleheads, and they lead by 2 touchdowns going to the top of the second inning. What an absolute onslaught. We'll roll on after this. Level of baseball. 14 runs on 15 hits. Paddleheads went all the way through the order twice in the inning. After all that, Raymond Gill will stand in with Timmons on the bump. It's kind of turned into an interesting night here in Missoula. Some clouds have kind of moved in over the last hour or so. First pitch is low and inside. Big part of the reason is that there are some thunderstorms in the general vicinity, but not slated to come through here, thankfully. 1-0 pitch to Raymond Gill. I say that, of course, knocking on wood, so don't come yelling at me. Raymond Gill now in an even count, a ball and a strike. Gill, Wallstad, and Trevor Minder in this half inning. 5-6-7 against Timmons, as there's a soft liner off the bat of Raymond Gill. That one's going to get down for a base hit. Not exactly tearing the cover off the ball, but Gill doing well, going down to golf that pitch, took it right with the location into right center field, and gets himself aboard. First inning started in the right direction, surprisingly, for the Boise Hawks in their home half. Or excuse me, in their half of the first. First two batters got aboard. And two runners on with their best hitter at the dish, Juan Teixeira, but he grounded into a double play. First pitch to Ryan Wallstad, a called strike. Towards the outside, 0-1. So that double play kind of took the wind out of the sails. No runs scored for the Boise Hawks, and we now know what happened in the bottom half. 0-1 is another strike. Off-speed pitch, Wallstad lets it go by. Count quickly, 0-2. Wallstad had a couple of walks last night. Went 0 for 2 overall. 1 for 3 in the series. 0-2 pitch is past the catcher, Noviello. That allows Raymond Gill to move up to second base. Wallstad appeared as a pinch hitter in game 1 of this series. 276 average overall for Wallstad. Trevor Minder, the shortstop, waits next. 1-2. Timmons, the delivery. Fastball. That's a bit high. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now 2 hits for the Boise Hawks with Raymond Gill standing at second base, who's now 4 for 9 swinging it in this series. 2-2 pitches off the plate. Changeup missed the outside portion of it. Count is now full as the Hawks look to get their first 2 men on base to start off an inning for the second frame in a row. Bit tough for Timmons also, having to sit for such a long time in the dugout. The payoff pitch is off the plate away. Fastball missing, ball 4. And just like in the first inning, Hawks see the first 2 batters of a frame get on base, as Trevor Minder will now step in. Minder has been starting shortstop in every game of this series. .333 average for Minder, 11 doubles. First pitch is up high, fastball out of the zone. Ball, no strikes, the count. And if you're Timmons on the hill with his humongous lead, I'm sure he's thinking about just staying around the zone. 1-0 pitch, this one swung on and missed. Count even, a ball and a strike. Base hit for Gill and a walk from Wallstad. And what's crazy, thinking about it, 14 runs, not even the largest rally the Paddleheads have had this year. The 1-1 on the way. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Towards the top of the zone, maybe a bit towards the outside also. Minder behind it. Count now a ball and 2 strikes with Jordan Rathbone waiting next. Interesting how this game features 2 players who were formerly with the Ogden Raptors, also were catchers with the team, now both with 2 separate ball clubs. The 1-2 to Minder. Fouled off the end of the bat. Good pitch by Timmons there in a 1-2. Going with the slider right on the black at the knees towards the outside corner. 2-strike count. That's a great pitch to make. A ball and 2 strikes to Trevor Minder. With Wallstad on at first, Raymond Gill at second. 14-0 the tally. Paddleheads lead. 1-2 offering. Swung on and missed. Fastball blows it by Minder for out number 1. Fastball challenge and a 2-strike count. Just country hard ball, and Timmons blows it by him for the first out. First K for Mark Timmons on the hill, as Jordan Rathbone will now be the hitter. Mention how Rathbone and Noviello were both with the Ogden Raptors at one point. Rathbone wasn't in Ogden for real long. Noviello 30-plus games. First pitch to Rathbone is fouled back to the right. Rathbone started the game in game 1, but out in the outfield and left. Took an 0 for 3. Rathbone does have some pop from the right side, 5 doubles and 5 home runs. 271 average for Boise. 2 runners on, 1 out. The 0-1 pitch from Timmons is on its way. Fastball, called a strike on the outside, 0-2. 14-0 the tally. Timmons once again looking to buckle down after allowing a couple of runners to reach base. The 0-2 pitch is a line drive right to Patrick Chung, racing back to second base, and safe there is Gill. Almost saw a double play on that weak line drive to the right of second base, but Raymond Gill just able to race back to beat Patrick Chung to stay out of a double play. Still is the second out recorded in this inning, as Haloa Dutois will now step into the box, the 9th batter in the order for Boise with 2 runners aboard. Dutois hasn't been productive in the first 2 games of this series at the plate. First pitch is fouled straight back. Fastball up, 0-1. 262 average for Dutois, but in this series is yet to record a hit, 0 for 8. Hawks trying to find some semblance of success. Trailing by a wide margin early. The 0-1 is just low. Count now a ball and a strike with 2 runners on, 2 outs. Interesting how first 2 innings offensively have started very similarly for the Hawks. 1-1 is a bit high with a fastball. We've seen right out of bed Boise get 2 runners aboard to start the inning. Then things just kind of taper off. We'll see if Dutois can come up big here with 2 outs, try to get a run in, or if it will be Timmons holding the line. Once again, 2-1 pitch, hit the other way, foul to the left. Fastball towards the inside part of the plate. Dutois, left-handed batter, going to left field with it, but is now in a 2-strike count with 2 outs, 2-2. Top of the order, and Tyler Jorgensen would come up next here in the top of the second if Dutois can get himself on base. Still, Raymond Gill and Wallstad on the bases. The 2-2 offering is just low. Fastball. Good pitch from Timmons, just didn't get the call. Looked to be right around the bottom of the zone. Framed up nicely by Noviello. Only box not checked was the strike 3 called. 3-2. The pitch to Dutois. Swing and a miss. Going after a fastball for out number 3. Once again, the Hawks put 2 runners on to start it off, but do not score anything. All paddleheads headed to the bottom of the second. 14-0 is the score. Well, what will the Paddleheads offense do for an encore here in the bottom half of the first inning? The second inning begins with Brandon Riley coming to the plate here in the bottom of the second. And it's not just because the Paddleheads brought all 9 batters to the plate. It's because they batted all the way through the order twice, did the Paddleheads in the first inning, scoring 14 runs on 15 hits. Byron Nelson still on the mound. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses low and in. In that first inning, Brandon Riley had a home run and a sac fly. Ho-hum. 1-0. Pitch on the way. Foul back. Fastball towards the heart of the zone. Count even at a ball and a strike. Matt Gabbert got tagged for the bulk of the runs. Nelson got hit around also. One pitch to Brandon Riley. Fastball missing. 2 balls and a strike count now. Greenwald and Nick Gatewood in this inning. Greenwald and Gatewood both had 2 hits in the first, as did Jason Newman, Cam Thompson, Cam Willman, and Andrew Noviello. The 2-1 pitch on the way to B-Rye. Ground ball, foul on the first base side. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's almost a better question of who didn't have 2 hits in the first inning. Riley in an even 2-2 count, working the count as he seems to always do well. The 2-2 pitch to Riley. Fastball off the plate, 3 ball, 2 strike count. So the Paddleheads continuing to wear out it's Boise pitching staff. It's Byron Smith and a 3-2 count to Brandon Riley. Kind of a typical B-Rye at bat right here. Fouling pitches off, not chasing anything out of the zone. The payoff pitch to Brandon Riley is off the plate away, ball 4. And all the things that took place in that first inning, surprisingly, one thing that you did not see was a walk. No walks for the Paddleheads, a part of that rally. It was almost all singles, opposed to a home run mentioned from Riley. Also saw a double in the inning from Andrew Noviello, but all the rest of the hits were singles. The first pitch to Keaton Greenwald, a fastball up and in. A ball, no strikes, the count. That's the really tough part about it, thinking about it from the Hawks' point of view, is yes, this is a tough night as it is, but who's coming to town tomorrow? These same Paddleheads. 1-0 pitch is off the plate and low. When you see a team score 28 runs in 2 games against you, that's going to put you in a bind mentally. And by the way, we're only in the bottom half of the second inning in this game, so the Paddleheads obviously have plenty of time to build on the run total, having already scored 28 the last 2 days. As the 2-0 is popped up into foul territory. Wallstad does not have room, though, as this one drifts into the seats. Taking a wild carom, ends up in the first row, just about. Was about halfway up the grandstand on the first base side behind the Boise dugout. Ball ended up caroming off a seat way down towards almost field level. So a foul by Greenwald to count now 2-1. With Riley at first, who reached on the walk. The pitch on the way is low and outside. 3-1 the count now to Greenwald. Some games moving along much different than this one. Believe it or not, Range Riders and Voyagers are already in the 6th inning. in Game 3 out at Flathead as the 3-1 to Greenwald misses outside. Ball 4. As Nick Gatewood stands in now. Talk about a stark contrast in that action at Flathead Field, a pitcher's duel. They're in the 6th inning there, and it's a 1-1 tie. First 2 games of that series went via the way of the Voyagers. Great Falls, Idaho Falls, and Missoula are all tied in the second half standings. In the Pioneer League North, the Paddleheads already wrapping up that playoff race for themselves in the first half with the pennant. So those other teams trying to fight their way towards that second half pennant to get a playoff opportunity against the Paddleheads at the end of the season come September. Best of 3 series. Action returning now. Continuing now, I should say, with Gatewood in the box, and he swings and hits a rocket to right field. This ball is going to go off the wall and right. Going to bring in more action on the offensive side as Brandon Riley scores. And now a throw gets away and goes out of play. Gatewood was going to stay at first, and he's going to end up all the way at third on a wild throw, which leads to a second run coming in to score as well. Brandon Riley was going to score easily on the play either way, but the throwing error, part of that, leads to a second run scoring. So a single and an RBI for Gatewood, and then an error also that led to a run coming in to score. And if you're the Boise Hawks, that play right there is just a microcosm of how this game has gone. The first pitch to Jason Newman. Rocket, base hit to left. Immediately scoring Gatewood as the score is now 17-0. 17 runs on the board. As Jason Newman picks up another hit and another RBI. First 4 batters of this inning have reached. Lamar Sparks will stand in now. By the way, the Paddleheads hit total high for the year is 29. Missoula is already over halfway there. Haven't even made it out of the second inning. Season high hit total for the Paddleheads this season was 29. Was in the last day of the first half in a game against the Great Falls Voyagers. 0-1, pitch to Sparks, a strike on the inside corner. And this Paddlehead offense, for the most part, has been very aggressive. Not a lot of called strikes taken. Lamar Sparks, a base hit and a fly out. In the first inning, the 0-2 is off the plate away. Fastball sinking off the plate. It was Lamar Sparks that actually, looking at it, trying to remember, no, it wasn't Sparks who recorded the first out. 1-2 pitch is a ground ball slowly hit foul on the first base side. So Paddleheads batted all the way through the order without an out recorded. It was Brandon Riley who recorded the first out. Lamar Sparks the second in that first inning. It was the second time through when that out was recorded. 1-ball, 2-strike count. Paddleheads add on with 3 more in this half inning. Now a 17-0 lead as the 1-2 is just fouled at the plate. Breaking ball towards the outside. Mentioned it, yes, there are some thunder cells hanging around, but the radar earlier looked like it was going to miss us. But again, it's thunder cells in Montana in the summertime. Very unpredictable. The 1-2 pitch is high and outside. count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If we end up with a lightning delay, we're going to need you to be telling the fans. We're going to tell the fans to turn on 102.9 because we're going to send them to their car.
2-2. Newman away from first. Here it comes. This one a ground ball foul on the first base side. And obviously, the last thing you want to see at this point is a weather delay. The way this game has started out. 2-2 to Lamar Sparks is a ground ball foul on the first base side. Especially the biggest thing taken is to think about is that both of these teams have a very long trip ahead of them tonight. Both teams after the game will be getting on a bus and headed to Boise, a long drive to begin a series there tomorrow. The 2-2 pitch is outside for ball 3. So if we do go to a weather delay and things end up being delayed, and Jeff Safford is asleep in the booth on Friday night because he didn't get any sleep, maybe send a text or something. Hey, Jeff, wake up. Hold on. Count is full, 3-2, as a wild gust of wind pops up. Stuff blowing around like wild. I think Jeff Lyle is about to go for a little ride in the third base coach's box. Stuff just blowing around all over the place. But I haven't seen any rain or thunder strikes yet. Just a wacky night all the way around. Weather acting up, the Paddlehead offense getting off to a crazy start. Up 17-0 as Lamar Sparks is coming back into the box. The 3-2 pitch on the way. This one a line drive towards left field. Rathbone is going to have to play this one on a bounce. A base hit. As Newman advances to second base, had to wait to see if, beg your pardon, it was Cruz out in the left that played it on a bounce. But still a base hit for Sparks, his second of the night, as the first 5 batters of the second inning have reached. As Cam Thompson will now stand in. In some wacky weather around us here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park, with the wind just whipping around. A lot of clouds around us also. Seems like the cell is like right at our doorstep, but not quite upon us. Hopefully it doesn't roll in here. Cam Thompson taking his time stepping in. Looks like he's trying to get some dirt out of his eyes. This is really tough. Not sure who this is tougher on, the pitcher or the hitter in the box. I would imagine it would just come down to who takes more dirt to the eye. Cam Thompson was in that 2-hit club in the first inning. The first pitch, Thompson takes at the knees, strike 1. Wouldn't this be something? No outs recorded in this half inning. Runners on at first and second. What if we saw the Paddleheads get to 20 hits before the end of the second inning? Now that would be absolutely wacky. But nothing would surprise me at this point. The 0-1 pitch to Thompson, off the plate with a breaking ball. Even count, a ball and 1 strike. This offense just has not stopped. For the Paddleheads, just 1 through 9, it has just been an absolute demolition of these Boise Hawks so far. A ball in to strike the count to Thompson. The pitch on the way. Fastball up. 2-ball, 1 strike count. Mentioned the low-scoring affair between Great Falls and Glacier. 1-1 score in the 6th inning at Flathead Field. Another low-scoring affair. Idaho Falls Chuckers and Billings Mustangs. The 2-1 pitch, Thompson fouls it back. Count now even at 2. Chuckers have a 4-0 advantage, or 2-0 advantage rather, in the 4th inning. Just as now headed to the 5th, as I say that, top of the 5th action. And Billings has struggled with their offense in that series opposite the Chuckers. Bit surprising thinking about the Achilles heel for Idaho Falls has been the pitching mound. Not had great pitching numbers. 2-2 is skipped into home plate. Rathbone keeps it close. Now a full count to Thompson. May see the 6th batter in a row reach in this inning. There's just not much you can say about the offensive production by this club. To be able to put not one, but now starting a 2nd inning out like this, it's just not seen in baseball. 3-2 outside, another base runner, ball 4. That's the 3rd free pass. Or it was Missoula just jumping all over Matt Gabbert. The 1st inning attacking pitches in the zone. In this inning, it's been Byron Smith being his own worst enemy on the hill, having now issued 3 walks in the inning. Paddleheads have scored 3 runs already. Nobody out. Cam Willman stepping into the box. He is the 7th batter of the frame. Most likely, unless a double play happens, as Willman takes the first pitch down low. Ball 1. Unless we see a double play, Paddleheads will send all 9 batters to the plate as part of a frame for the 2nd time. A ball, no strikes the count to Willman. Wind still whipping around as the 1-0 is swung on and missed. The other side, the Hawks have gotten runners on in each of the first 2 innings they've come to the plate. Haven't been able to get anything home as the 1-1 to Willman misses the outside. Willman, 2 RBI hits in the first, had 4 ribbies in the 1st inning alone, did Cam Willman. Another RBI chance here with the bases loaded and nobody out. RBI base hits from Jason Newman and Nick Gatewood in this inning. The 2-1 offering. This is a high pop-up on the left side. Who's it going to be? Minder battling the wind, makes the catch to the left of second base for the first out of the inning. With the wind swirling around like it has been, ball popped up in the air like that, an adventure, but Minder able to make the play in that spot. As Andrew Noviello will now be the hitter. Noviello singled and doubled in the 1st inning. Chance to keep it rolling at the plate. This at-bat here against Smith. The pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Rathbone. Noviello, tough to get out to a better start with the club than what he's done. Had a sac fly and a 2-run double in his first couple of at-bats with Missoula last night. 2 more hits here, so a 4-for-4 start with the Paddleheads. 1-0 on the way. Noviello takes in tight for ball 2. Patrick Chung to follow as Missoula looks to bat around the entire order for the 2nd inning in a row. The 2-0 pitch is up high and outside to Noviello. 3 walks in this inning already for Smith, in danger of walking another here to bring in a 4th run, with Jason Newman standing at third base in a 3-0 count. 17-0 the score. 3-0 pitch to Noviello is at the knees, strike 1. borderline pitch. Looks like a changeup towards the outside corner that just barely grazed the zone. To keep a run in for now. To keep a run from coming in. The 3-1 pitch to Noviello. Outside, ball 4. As Jason Newman will now come in to score. So the inevitable came after a pitch that was a borderline call. Ends up being a walk anyway. As Patrick Chung comes into the box. And the Paddleheads have sent all 9 batters to the plate for the second time and will look to do more as Brandon Riley is on deck. And unless Patrick Chung bounces into a double play here, we'll go beyond that one time through. Pitching conference taking on the mound now as Michael Van Kampen, the pitching coach, is out talking with Nelson. The umpires are going to go break this up now. And unless this game is still going, with the Paddleheads putting countless numbers on base, by the time we get to tomorrow night, the plan is for the Paddleheads to be at Memorial Stadium tomorrow opposite the Hawks. Game 1 of a 3-game series. 7 o'clock start time. We'll be on the air with you at 6:45. Start things out right here on ESPN Radio. As the conference on the mound has concluded, Patrick Chung will dig himself into the box.
Second baseman, number 1. Your beer batter of the game, Patrick Chung.
Patrick Chung, 2 hits. His second was just a little bloop into left center field that brought in a pair in that first inning. First pitch, Chung takes a fastball, didn't get the call. Off the plate away, 1-0 the count. There is 1 out in this inning. So the Paddleheads did not bat all the way around through the order without recording an out like they did in the last frame. The 1-0 pitch with 1 away. This one a sky-high fly ball. Medium depth left center field. Jorgensen has it. In left center, he'll fire off to third base. Throw is not in time. Now a throw going to second, and Noviello is out at second base. Trying to stretch it out was Noviello after the throw went to third, but he gets thrown out for the 3rd out of the inning. So a run comes in to score on the sac fly, but then Noviello thrown out at second base, trying to stretch it out, and that ends this half inning. We'll head to the 3rd. Missoula scores 5 more, now a 19-0 lead. Doesn't seem possible. The Paddleheads were able to do what they did. The hits just kept on coming. And the Boise Hawks will try to find some semblance of success on their side now in the third inning, with Tyler Jorgensen in the top of the order coming up. First pitch, Mark Timmons delivers one off the plate away. A ball, no strikes the count. It's interesting how the first two frames for Boise followed a very similar pattern. First two batters got aboard. 1-0 pitch, ground ball towards the middle, through the middle. Willman couldn't get there. To the left of second base, Tyler Jorgensen picks up his second hit of the night. So Jorgensen starting to see things turn around offensively after two subpar ball games. He's got 2 hits in his first 2 at-bats, and the third inning in a row sees a leadoff man get aboard for Boise. But as I started to allude to, was a walk and a single in the first 2 innings that got the first 2 runners on, but then they would be left stranded. First pitch to Abraham Sequeira is taken low. Breaking ball missed, 1-0. It was a double play ball that took the wind out of the sails in the last half. 2 strikeouts for Timmons helped limit the damage the last time. 1-0 pitch is a ball hit the other way, down the left field line. Going to be a tough play. Willman reaches up. He can't get to it in shallow left. As Sequeira picks up a little pop-up single. Just hit to a spot where nobody could get to it. So once again, the first 2 batters on base to start off a frame for the Hawks. As Juan Teixeira will now jump into the box. Not a hit and a walk like the first 2 innings. It's here 2 base hits. As Teixeira will try to get the Hawks on the board now in the top of the third inning. Going to need a heck of a lot more, though, trailing by 19 if they were to get on the board. Teixeira came up in a spot just like this in the top of the first inning after the first 2 batters reached. He bounced into a double play. Just kind of begun to tell the story for everything going against the Hawks in the first couple of innings. First pitch, Teixeira takes a called strike with a slider towards the inside corner. No ball, 1 strike count. And we'll say something about this Hawks team also, how they approach every at-bat to this point. As the 0-1 pitch is a line drive left field, Brandon Riley plays it on a bounce. Stopping at third base is Jorgensen. Wasn't sure if that ball was going to get down initially, but that is a single for Juan Teixeira. And that loads the bases. Just going down and golfing that slider to left field was Teixeira. Not a real loud amount of contact there, but was enough to be able to bounce down in front of Brandon Riley, as Jacob Cruz will now stand in. Cruz flew out to Greenwald in his first at-bat. Now is to end the top of the first inning. Boise putting something together here. Bases loaded, first pitch. Cruz takes a slider down low. A ball, no strikes. Mentioned it earlier also, but with all the offense, it's one thing. It's tough for a pitcher to get yourself in a rhythm, having to have such prolonged stints sitting in the dugout. 1-0 pitch to Cruz is low. Fastball just out of the zone. Didn't miss by too much. Cruz in the driver's seat now, ahead in the count 2-0 with the bases loaded, nobody out. Target away from Noviello, the pitch. This one hit the other way, down the left field line. A long run for Riley, and he watches it bounce near the bullpen in foul territory. Strike 1 on Cruz, 2-1, now the count. The next trip for the Paddleheads to Memorial Stadium will not be the last, believe it or not. Although it is a Southern Division opponent, Paddleheads will see 6 more games at Memorial Stadium after this weekend. to end the regular season. 2-1 pitch is outside. 3-1 now to Cruz. In a great spot now in this at-bat. He can sit on one pitch in one spot in a 3-ball count with the bases loaded. Timmons just running into some trouble here in this inning. 3-1, here it comes. Fastball off the plate away, and that's going to walk in a run. As the Hawks are on the board. Score is now 19-1 on the bases loaded walk for Jacob Cruz, his 63rd RBI of the year. The Hawks are set up for a big rally, with the first 4 batters of this frame getting on base. 3 singles and a walk. As Raymond Gill will stand in. Gill recorded a base hit to lead off the second. First pitch to Raymond Gill is down low for ball 1. It seems like Timmons has missed just low a lot so far in the early innings. Pretty close to being around the zone, just not quite there. The fastball, a good example of it, just off the plate. The 1-0 to Gill, taken for a strike on the outside corner. Breaking ball finds the zone towards the outside, and I would imagine that Gill was up there taking all the way. Starting to see some more sun kind of poking out, looking behind us. 1-1 pitch to Gill is a line drive left field. Brandon Riley has to play it on a bounce. This will bring in a second run for the Boise Hawks. RBI single for Raymond Gill. And what is in the water tonight in Missoula? Both offenses putting together these runs of success. Obviously, Boise has a long way to go to try to match what the Paddleheads have done. But still, to see both offenses put these runs of success together. Now 5 batters in a row have reached for the Hawks, and 2 runs have come in. First pitch to Wallstad gets by Noviello. Here comes the runner from third, scoring. It's Teixeira to make it 3-0 Hawks. Count 1-0 to Ryan Wallstad. As Timmons just can't find anything in this half inning. Looks like some bullpen activity may be starting for the Paddleheads momentarily. Timmons kind of flirted with disaster the first couple innings. Now looks like he is getting burned here in the third. A ball and no strikes the count to Ryan Wallstad. The pitch on the way. Fastball called strike 1 on the outside, even the count. So hopefully with the sun kind of poking out behind us, that means that Thunder Cell has kind of passed us by, or the brunt of it has. The 1-1 pitch fouled off. Fastball towards the outside portion. Was pretty wild there for a bit. The wind was rocking around, got stuff flying through the ballpark. Dirt flying up. Thought Jeff Lyle was going to get blown away. The ball 2 strikes. The pitch is down low, sliding to the right. To block it was Noviello. 2-2 count to Wallstad. Still has not seen an out recorded in this half inning. Has Timmons. Ryan Wallstad walked in the second. One of 2 walks issued. Ground ball to the left of second, through the middle. Base hit for Wallstad. This is going to bring in 2 more. As the score is now 19-5. 5-run rally for the Boise Hawks here in the top of the third inning. And give credit to the Hawks here. Clearly nothing has gone your way in these first couple of innings. With 19 runs coming in to score for the Paddleheads, it'd be real easy to just kind of pack it in and kind of go through the motions, so to speak. But Boise putting some at-bats together here and frankly having success in this inning like they have never seen through the first 3 games of this series. as Trevor Minder now stands in. Still nobody out. The first pitch, foul off. And I think the biggest thing for Timmons has been, especially in this inning, his inability to get ahead early in the count. He's gotten himself behind, has walked a couple of batters, just led to some good hitters' counts, and the Hawks have made him pay. The 0-1 to Minder. This one a line drive, center field, drifting back on it is Greenwald. He has it. Drifting back in left center field, the ball pretty well hit off the bat of Minder, but Greenwald was able to drift back and make the catch. That ends a stretch of 6 batters in a row reaching for Boise. They have tallied 5 runs in the inning, but only to cut the deficit to 14. Jordan Rathbone will now be the hitter with 1 out and still a runner on at first. It's Wallstad. Timmons to the dish. This one foul to the right side, 0-1. Fastball towards the inside corner. Couple of guys up and starting to warm up in the bullpen for the Paddleheads. Looks like both Elliott and Boyle have started throwing. The 0-1 is taken off the plate away, a slider missing. Count even at 1 with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. $18 hits for Missoula, now 7 for the Boise Hawks. 1-1 pitch to Rathbone is just a bit up high. Fastball kind of moving towards the outside corner, but just a bit up. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out to Rathbone, who hit a line drive to Patrick Chung his last time in the box. The 2-1 pitch, again a foul to the right. Very reminiscent to what we saw in the first pitch of this at-bat. Now in a 2-strike count with 1 out. 9th batter of this inning, Aloha Dudois waits next for the Hawks. Got themselves going offensively, a 5-run inning. The 2-2 pitch on the way. This one a line drive to left field, has to be played on a bounce by Riley. Another single for the Boise Hawks, puts runners on at first and second. As they just keep it rolling at the plate. As now Boise will bat all the way around the order and then some in this inning. Unless Dudois bounces into a double play in this spot. Dudois struck out in his last at-bat. That was to end the 2nd inning. First pitch on the way is low to Dudois. May have heard the PA announcement, but apparently some showers have started to fall. I don't see them as the 1-0 pitch is fouled off. Count even at a ball and a strike. The big thing, though, you don't want to see is lightning strikes, because that's what will most likely get us delayed. And that is about the last thing anybody wants to see at this point. A ball and a strike with 1 out. 19-5 now tally. The Paddleheads well out in front. But the Hawks showing fight here in this inning. The 1-1 pitch is off the plate to Dudois. 2-1 the count. Because at this point, you have to think the Hawks are thinking about their series at home, trying to put some at-bats together, get some momentum to bring it home. The 2-1 pitch, ground ball into left field, base hit. Runner at third stops Wallstad as the bases are loaded again. It's just been a hit parade in this half inning for the Boise Hawks. Doing exactly kind of like what the Paddleheads did in the first inning. Coming through with a whole bunch of singles. We're going to see a mound visit in this spot. Looks like Domingo Pena has been sent out to the mound to talk with Timmons. Whole infield is going to join in as well. Nate Boyle has just gotten out onto the bullpen mound and left. So just interesting how both offenses have seen in the first inning. Obviously, the 14-run rally, bulk of it, mention it, was singles. 5-run rally for the Boise Hawks here in this inning, and they're far from done, having recorded only 1 out, having batted all the way through the order to start it off. 7 hits of those 9 batters. Tyler Jorgensen up for the second time. And it seems like the majority of these Hawks hitters have gone with an approach to left field also. Jorgensen bounces one, just as I say that, to the right side. The first pitch, 0-1. Almost right on cue. Say, hey, their approach seems to be to right, or to left field, and the guy hits it to the right. 0-1 with 1 out. 19-5 tally, bases loaded, 1 out. Timmons trying to stop the bleeding. The 0-1 pitch is off the plate. Slider missing. Jorgensen started this inning off with, you guessed it, a single. First 3 batters of this inning all singled. The first 5 of the first 6 all singled in this inning. 1-1 on the way. This one a line drive, left side. Brandon Riley can't get there. That's going to bring in probably 2 more. Throw coming to the plate with the second one coming is to the left. So Riley tried to make it interesting at the plate with that second run approaching, but all for naught as the throw is to the left as runs number 6 and 7 come in this inning on the 2-run single from Tyler Jorgensen. The Hawks showing a lot of fight. Really is wild that they've been able to put this inning together after all the success the Paddleheads have had in the first 2 innings. Give them credit. First pitch to Sekera. This is a line drive. Left center field, pretty well hit. Brandon Riley on the move. This one's going to get to the wall and bring in 2 more. As Sekera will see a 2-run double make this a 19-9 game. 9 runs have come in to score for the Boise Hawks here in the top of the 3rd inning. Only 1 out recorded. So we've now seen rallies of 14 runs and 9 runs in the first 3 innings. As Juan Teixeira will stand in, and here comes Michael Schlack. This will be the end of the road for Mark Timmons, who just ran into a buzzsaw here in the top of the 3rd inning. Nate Boyle's coming in. We roll on after this.
Cool rooms you're not using, or have disagreements over how high or how low your home's thermostat should be set. You can keep everyone comfortable while saving on utility bills with single-room ductless HVAC units. At Temp-Right Service, we're up to speed on this innovative technology. Because we know all houses are not alike, we offer styles to fit unique architecture. Ask for more information. And if you're a commercial builder, turn to Temp-Right Service for energy solutions from the ground up.
Today only, the grand opening of the brand new LaSalle Sports Bar at Grey Wolf Peak Casino. Stop by the LaSalle Sports Bar starting at 5 p.m.
We're back in the top of the third in what has just been a topsy-turvy night here in the first 3 innings. I mean, the fact that we've seen all this in the first 3 innings is crazy. Paddleheads scored 19 runs in the first 2 innings, and now the Boise Hawks have exploded out to a 9-run rally here in the top of the third. Chasing starter Mark Timmons will now be Nate Boyle taking over, trying to get the final 2 outs of this half inning. Boise has already brought 11 batters to the plate as part of this rally. So Nate Boyle takes over, and he has been a very strong option for manager Michael Schlack out of the bullpen. This bullpen has also been very tough in recent games in general. Looking at action against the Hawks, they have yet to get a run in, or just 1 run, I should say, against this bullpen of the Paddleheads. And Nate Boyle, this being his 12th appearance out of the bullpen, has given up only 6 runs in 21 innings so far this year. And in Boyle's last 10 innings pitched, he has not given up a single run on the mound. So Boyle's really come into his own. This is his first professional season. He inherits a tough spot. Will be interesting to see how deep Boyle is asked to go in this game. A 10-run advantage, so still plenty comfortable for the Paddleheads. But coming into the action pretty early, we've seen Boyle go 2+ innings before in relief stints for the Paddleheads this season. As Boyle is ready to go now with Juan Teixeira coming into the box. Looking at Boyle's game log, his longest stint out of the pen was against Glacier back in July. 4 innings pitched, just allowed 1 hit. First pitch to Juan Teixeira is a called strike at the knees. That's where Boyle is at his best from the right side. Fastball with some pretty good life to it, around 90 miles an hour, with a good amount of sink to it. Juan Teixeira, 0-1. Teixeira already a single in this inning, with a runner at second base. The 0-1 pitch. This one a ground ball towards Willman. Gets it on a high hop at shortstop. He flips to Newman for out number 2 here in the top of the third. So Teixeira sent packing, but just for the second out, as Jacob Cruz will come into the box. Cruz walked with the bases loaded to bring in the first of the 9 runs for the Boise Hawks in this inning. First 3 batters that came up singled, then the walk to Cruz, RBI base hit for Gill, and then for Wallstad, before finally the first out was recorded by Minder. The first pitch to Jacob Cruz from Boyle is on the way. Fastball, called strike towards the outside corner. 0-1 the count with 2 away. Boyle trying to make sure that runner stays stranded at third base. The lone runner that's on here, it stands at third. A 1 pitch to Cruz is a ball hit foul off to the left. Count quickly 0-2. Runner is Sequeira on at third base. Threw me for a second, but this alternate uniforms a few different numbers for the Boise Hawks. I was looking out there, saw number 2, and it was like, wait a minute, there's no number 2 on the roster. But then remembered, oh yeah, Sequeira wearing number 2 because of the alternate jersey. The 0-2 to Cruz is past Noviello to the backstop. This will see a run come in to score on the wild pitch from Nate Boyle. The 10th run of this inning for the Boise Hawks, who've cut the deficit to single digits, 19-10. Well, if you would have asked me what I thought we were going to see from this ball game about this point almost 2 hours ago, this is not what I would have said I thought was going to take place. 29 combined runs have now scored from these two clubs, third of them in this half inning. The 1-2 pitch to Cruz on the way, swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Noviello lays down the tag at home plate. That is the final out of the frame. This half inning finally comes to an end, but not before the Paddleheads score 10 runs, or excuse me, the Hawks score 10 runs, make this a 19-10 ball game.
What's up? This is Sammy B, the MC for your Missoula Paddleheads. Thanks for listening to Paddleheads Baseball on ESPN Missoula 102.9 FM.
Bottom half of the third inning about to begin here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Well, if you like offense, this Thursday night's been for you. Boise Hawks just concluded a 10-run rally in the top half of the third inning, but the Paddleheads still lead by 9. 19-10 the score. First pitch to Brandon Riley, leading off the inning. Foul, straight back. And it's the third frame in a row that Brandon Riley has come up to lead off. Brandon Riley batted twice in the first inning. Only got one at bat in the second. Just a home frame. Lack of execution, if you ask me. The 0-1 pitch is a fly ball, center field. Moving a bit to the left is Jorgensen. Got a late jump, but is able to recover to make the catch. Out number one. Of course, a 5-run rally, nothing to sneeze at. A little bit of humor from my part, or at least my attempt at it. Route number one. Figured most folks would get my tone there, but should be safe. As Keaton Greenwalt will stand in now. With one out and the base is empty. And believe it or not, first pitch to Greenwalt is outside. That is the first time on either side we have seen a leadoff batter retired. Leadoff man has not gone down on either side until right there. Riley going down for out number one. 1-0 pitch. Greenwald hits one pretty well. Left center field. Jorgensen on the move is going to see Cruz come in and make a sliding catch in front of him for out number two. Jacob Cruz came out of nowhere in left center field. My eyes were on Jorgensen the whole way. Then Cruz just comes screaming in front of him to make a sliding catch in left center field for out number 2. Nicely done from Cruz. Boise Hawks still out there fighting, competing. You gotta like it. First pitch to Nick Gatewood is a fly ball pop-up, foul territory, left side, and this one will be caught in foul ground by Sequeira, right in front of the dugout on the third base side. Very quick bottom half of the third inning. The Paddleheads go down in order, 1, 2, 3. Well, we've seen just about everything. Long innings, 15-run rallies, 10-run rallies, and now an inning that's over in a blink of an eye. We'll head to the fourth. Paddleheads up by 10.
I am Jeff Laporte, an orthopedic surgeon and the medical director of the Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center. I'm here to welcome you to our new state-of-the-art facility in Missoula, Montana. Since we opened, the feedback from our patients has been very positive. Our goal was to build a facility that helps us provide the best surgical services by increasing access to patient care and also providing high-quality orthopedic surgical services. In addition to the usual outpatient procedures we have done for years, we can also offer joint replacement surgery and spine surgery with the option of an overnight stay. Research shows that patients' outcomes are better if they return home soon after surgery. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons, anesthesiologists, and support personnel are committed to providing the highest quality of care at our new state-of-the-art facility at Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center.
Missoula Bone and Joint. Quality care from people who care.
Return to Paddlehead Play-by-Play on ESPN Radio.
Welcome back in for the top half of the fourth inning here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. It is a 19-10 lead for these Paddleheads. Checking in on some other scores around the league, Billings Mustangs are out in front of the Idaho Falls Chuckers. They are in the sixth inning. Mustangs 4-2 advantage. In the eighth inning at Flathead Fields, slow start for both offenses. It was tied at 1 in the top of the sixth, but now the Voyagers have found some offensive success. They now lead by 3, 6-3 score in the eighth inning, with Great Falls leading. One final score in a doubleheader from the Southern Division, Rocky Mountain Vibes defeating the Ogden Raptors. Raymond Gill in the box, taking the first pitch of the top of the fourth from Raymond Boyle out of the zone. In the eighth inning over in Colorado, NoCo Owls lead the Grand Junction Rockies 10-4. In Grand Junction, an interesting story coming out of the south, somewhat quietly, as the 1-0 pitch is fouled away to the right, count even at a ball and a strike. But Grand Junction kind of an interesting team to follow, and with Grand Junction and Ogden kind of both running away with the South in the second half, can almost pencil in those two teams at this point for the Southern Division playoff. Still obviously a good amount of time for another team to get in the mix. It's the 1-1 pitch is over the top of Thompson's glove, down the left field line to the wall. Raymond Gill hustling towards second has got himself a two-bagger. So another good start to this half inning for the Boise Hawks as they keep having success with leadoff batters getting on base. It's Ryan Wallstad will now stand in. And if you're going to take anything away from what's taken place in this one, obviously disaster to start things out. The Hawks starting to put some good at-bats together, having much more success at the plate in this game, what they've had in the first two games. I'd say combined. First pitch on the way to Wallstad is outside. Maybe just a bit high. 1-0. Wallstad, RBI, 2 RBI single, part of that 10-run rally in the third, also drew a free pass. So runner on in scoring position right out of bed. Double for Gill, his 14th of the year. Now second on the team, breaking a tie with Jacob Cruz as the 1-0 pitch is just a bit inside. Makes it 2-0. Just seems like it's almost been contagious with these offenses kind of bouncing off one another. Hawks really finding it in the last half inning. A good start with the runner at second. The 2-0 is hit the other way, foul. Kind of tomahawking that one was Wallstad. Kind of a wild swing at that pitch on the inside. Fouling it off to the left over by the grassy knoll. Strike one on Wallstad, now a 2-1 count. Paddleheads will return home after the series this weekend. And it will be a prolonged stint at home for once. That'll be nice next week. 2-1 the count to Wallstad. The pitch from Boyle is up high. 3-ball, 1-strike count to Wallstad. First base is open in this spot. So walk maybe not the worst thing in the world to put runners on at first and second to try to set up a force. As the Hawks try to get the first 2 batters of an inning aboard for the 4th consecutive frame. 3-1 pitch to Wallstad, not even close. Way off the plate, a fastball missing. Ball 4. You can almost see that was going to be a ball the second it left his hand. That's now 4 innings in a row. But the first 2 batters of an inning have reached. And interestingly enough, 3 of 4 innings, it's been a walk and a single. First inning that took place, as did in the second. The last inning was 3 singles in a row that started off before a walk took place. Here a base hit and a walk to start it. Trevor Mender in the box now. The first offering is a fastball that catches the zone on the inside corner. Trevor Mender didn't think so. Close pitch towards the inside and the top part of the zone, but getting the call. Top of the 4th, nobody out. Runners on at first and second. In a 19-10 ball game, the Paddleheads have the lead. 0-1 to Minder. Here it comes. Checking his swing, the ball gets by Noviello. That allows both runners to move up. Minder did go after the pitch, apparently. So the count is now 0-2. My eyes focused on the ball getting by Noviello. That pitch down below the knees, Minder could not hold up. So now in an 0-2 count is Minder, with now runners on at second and third. No ball, 2-strike count to Minder with Jordan Rathbone on deck. The 0-2 pitch from Boyle is taken. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Off-speed pitch on the outside and a beauty from Nate Boyle to freeze Trevor Minder to record the first out. And the fans were liking that one especially. Top of the 4th. This is the jitter inning, so fans just got a free cup of joe for that strikeout from Nate Boyle. Trevor Minder retired. He's now 0 for 3. Jordan Rathbone to the plate now. One thing that wild pitch did, moving the runners up to second and third, took a double play out of the equation, at least in most instances. Jordan Rathbone waits the first pitch from Boyle. Swinging and a miss at a pitch down below the knees. Thinking about a fastball apparently was Rathbone. got off speed that dipped right off the table. Rathbone was way out in front, 0-1. You know you got a big night offensively when you got to start trying to break out the calculator for hit totals combined and those sorts of things. And I wasn't the strongest at math growing up either way. 0-1 with one out to Rathbone. Target away from Noviello. Looking to third is Boyle. The 0-1 pitch is up high. Fastball, 1-1. Starter Mark Timmons was out of the action before the conclusion of the last half inning. Pitched in and out of trouble in the first two frames with runners on base, no runs home. Just ran into a bunch of trouble, though, in the third. 1-1 pitch is fouled away to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Looking at that series upcoming at Memorial Stadium, it will be night games Friday and Saturday night and a matinee day game on Sunday afternoon. Temperatures expected to be pretty warm, as they have been here in Missoula. What you would expect for that part of Idaho in the summer is typically pretty hot. 1-2, the pitch to Rathbone. Breaking ball, strike 3, right at the knees. For the second out of the inning. So now here comes Michael Schlack. 2 runners on at second and third, 2 outs. No action going in the bullpen, so this is just going to be a conversation with Schlack on the hill. And evidently, Schlack sees something with his pitch sequencing that he didn't like, so he's going out to talk with Nate Boyle. That's the only thing I can think of. So Schlack is given his words of instruction, and now he is coming off the mound. And if you're Boyle, after allowing a double and a walk to start this inning, and it looks like the Hawks were headed for another rally, Boyle has bounced back nicely, striking out the next 2 hitters, and now it will most likely take some success from Haloa Dudua, trying to get a run home for the Hawks here in the 4th. 2 down, 2 runners on at second and third. Haloa Dudua, the hitter. The first pitch to Dudua is in the dirt. Ball 1. Dudua, a strikeout and a single in action against Timmons earlier. His first at-bat against Nate Boyle here in the top of the 4th. Hawks trying to make it 2 innings in a row on the scoreboard after being held scoreless in the first 2 frames. Paddleheads went down very quietly in the 3rd inning, 1-2-3. The 1-0 pitch to Haloa Dudua is forthcoming. Here it is. Lined but foul, off to the left. Screaming over the top of the concourse near the clubhouse on the third base side. Even count, a ball and a strike with 2 away to Dudua. And it looks like that Thundercell, who was around the ballpark, is kind of kept on sliding to the west of us. So it looks like we are going to be okay now for the time being. Knock on wood. And what other superstitious thing you can do. And 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Fastball towards the outside, strike 2. So now Boyle is 1 pitch away of getting out of this thing after allowing the first 2 base runner to reach. Top of the order is waiting next with Jorgensen. 1-2 to Haloa Dudua. Here it comes from Boyle. This one a line drive left field, but right to Brandon Riley, who reaches up and makes the grab for the final out of the inning. So for the 3rd time in this game, Boise puts 2 runners on to start an inning, but are turned away. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th with the Paddleheads leading 19-10. Jason Newman is getting things started here in this half inning. 19-10 ball game. The Paddleheads out in front here in the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch to Jason Newman, swing and a miss at a pitch on the outer half. So Newman, Lamar Sparks, and then Cam Thompson this half inning, 4-5-6. Trying to decipher the scorebook at this point, what the Paddleheads did in those first couple innings is a bit of a task. First pitch, or the 0-1 pitch, just outside to Newman. Count even at a ball and a strike. Jason Newman singled twice in the first inning, brought in runs in both instances, and also an RBI single in the second for Newman. 1-1 pitch. This one hit high and foul off to the right. So Newman may be starting to heat things up. A quiet game one, going 0 for 3. But Newman had 2 hits last night, 3 hits tonight. 5 hits in his last 2 games. Starting to get on another roll offensively. The 1-2 pitch, Newman swings and hits one high in the air, right field. Teixeira looking up at the wall. This ball's off the base of the wall. Newman will stride into second base easily with a 2-bagger. Jason Newman already has 4 hits tonight. Leads off the fourth with a knock. So the Paddleheads try to get the offense going again. No shortage, obviously. Lamar Sparks will stand in. Sparks with 2 hits. He's 2 for 3. Jason Newman leads the team in hits. Gatewood's got 3 as the first pitch to Sparks. Look out, up and in. Ball 1, 1-0. Fastball not close. And there's only, looking at it, 2 batters in the order that don't have 2 hits so far to this point. They are Patrick Chung and Brandon Riley. 1-0 pitch is outside. 2-ball, no strike count to Sparks. Greenwald's, Sparks, Thompson, Willman, and Noviello all have 2 hits, while Gatewood and Newman have 3 or more. Gatewood 3 for 4, and Newman is 4 for 4. 2-0 pitch to Sparks is a sky-high fly ball center field in the park. Jorgensen is there for out number 1. Newman, putting on the PF Flyers, is going to tag up and is safe at third, beating the throw from Jorgensen. So the big fella rumbles into third base. Now a runner at third with less than 2 outs for Cam Thompson. Fly ball out for Sparks. He's now 2 for 4. Cam Thompson, 2 hits. He's singled twice in the first. Reached in the second on a walk. And it's been even instances like that where seeing guys not have opportunities for more hits because they walked. It's been 3 free passes. Brandon Riley mentioned he only had 1 hit as Thompson fouls one off to the left side on the first pitch he sees. 1 out, runner on at third. Newman is the runner, infield playing in across the board for the Boise Hawks. 0-1 the count to Thompson. Count is 0-2. The pitch, O'Connor hits one high, or excuse me, Thompson hits one high and foul to the left. Again, touching on Riley only having the 1 hit. Partially due to a fact that he played a little small ball on one of his at-bats and had a sacrifice fly. So even when batters have been out at times, it's been productive for the Paddleheads. 0-2 pitch to Thompson. Fastball misses in tight. Not a bad idea trying to bust Thompson in with that heat on the inside by Byron Smith. A ball and 2 strikes the count with 1 out. 19-10 the tally. Paddleheads looking to add to the lead with a runner on at third and less than 2 outs. 1-2 to Cam Thompson. The pitch on the way from Smith. This one popped up, foul ground, third base side. This one drifts out of play. Paddleheads have some fun things lined up for the homestand next week. Will be the Idaho Falls Chuckers in town. Only saw the Chuckers here in this ballpark once in the first half for a 3-game set. We'll get another look at the Chuckers, team that's right in the thick of that race for the second half Pioneer League playoff spot. Opposite the Paddleheads, as time is called at the dish. Idaho Falls, a very strong offensive team, as they were last year. A couple of players have left, though. One via injury, another a trade. That has changed things up for Idaho Falls. Matt Feinstein, right around the first half of the year, was traded to the Frontier League. And Calvin Estrada, who is having a great year, league leader in batting average, out for the season due to a hand injury. 1-2 pitch. Thompson swings, and was it a foul tip into the glove? Yes, it was. Rathbone caught it. Looks like the ball was loose for a second, but Rathbone was able to hold on for the second out. That was a crafty play by the catcher, Rathbone. Something about that foul tip into the glove of Rathbone sent him to the left a bit. Just was able to hang on. Because obviously if he doesn't catch it, it's a foul ball. And Thompson is still in the at-bat. First pitch to Cam Willman, a called strike at the knees, 0-1. Good curveball right at the knees towards the outside corner. Newman still on at third base. Willman looking to come up with a big 2-out hit to get another run in for the Paddleheads. The 0-1. This one a pop-up on the infield left side. Looks like Sequeira has a beat on it, and he does. To the right of third base, that records the final out. So Newman doubles to start off the inning, but no runs come in to score in the fourth for the Paddleheads. The fifth inning coming up, 19-10 lead.
Satisfaction is guaranteed when you choose Missoula Realty. Locally owned and operated, the team at Missoula Realty has over
between innings. It is karaoke night, and at the ballpark, and we've seen a couple of fans get in on the fun with karaoke in between innings. But it is now Paxton the Paddleheads getting into it. And he came out wearing a black robe, and he shed it and started singing along to Justin Timberlake's Sexy Back. I have no words. We have seen it all on this Thursday night, as Tyler Jorgensen will lead it off here in this half inning. Top of the order for the Boise Hawks, Jorgensen, Sequeira, and then Juan Teixeira. First pitch from Boyle will be on the way momentarily. Setting at the chest, the first offering, swinging a slow roller, that is foul. Off the bat of Jorgensen. Not sure if that hit off of anything from Jorgensen, ended up in foul ground either way, so it didn't make a difference. Kind of looked like it hit off the foot of Jorgensen at first. Jorgensen, a good start to his offensive day. 2 hits for him, also 2 RBIs, part of that 10-run rally for the Hawks in the third. Count is 0-1. The pitch to Jorgensen. Fastball called strike 2 on the outside. Boyle looked like he was getting himself into trouble the first couple batters of the last half, but was able to pitch his way out of it. 2 strikeouts and a line drive out in a scoreless 4th inning for Boise. 0-2 to Jorgensen is a breaker that is just inside. Didn't miss by too much. And Boise already in the first 4 innings scored more runs they had in the first 2 games of this series combined. 1-2, Boyle sets and delivers. This one bounced foul, right over the top of Sequeira's head. So Jorgensen staying gritty, staying alive in this battle with Boyle. One and two the count as Jorgensen jumps his way back into the box. Looks like the target from Noviello is in. The 1-2 offering up high. Looks like he was trying to go back to an off-speed pitch, but missed just a bit high with it. Maybe a bit of an overthrow from Nate Boyle on the hill. Two ball, 2 strike count to Jorgensen. Target now looks to be away. The pitch. This one a ground ball, foul. Towards the first base coach's box. Play made over there on a backhanded stop. There you go. A ball, 2 ball, 2 strike count. Good at bat here from Tyler Jorgensen. Fouling off some tough pitches. It's worked it to a 2-2. We'll see another 2-2 offering here. Here it comes. This one a pop-up into shallow center field. Drifting out is Willman, the shortstop. He has it. On the edge of the outfield grass, Jorgensen got jammed by that pitch on the inside. At the knees also. Out number 1. Jorgensen retired for the first time. And that is also the first time that the Paddleheads have retired a leadoff batter in a frame. Boise has been held off the board in 3 of 4 innings. They've come to the plate, this being the 5th, obviously. But a leadoff man had been on base in every inning up to that point, as Abraham Sequeira comes to the dish with 1 out. The first pitch to Sequeira. This is a fly ball, center field. Coming in, screaming in is Greenwald's on the run, makes the play for the 2nd out of the inning. Greenwald screaming in to shallow center, corrals it for out number 2. As Nate Boyle looks for a quiet 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the 5th. As Juan Teixeira will now come to the plate. Teixeira grounded into a double play, bounced out to Willman and singled. 1 for 3 overall. In a 19-10 ball game, the Paddleheads have the lead. First pitch coming to Juan Teixeira. Breaking ball is just up high. .31 hits combined on 29 runs to this point. 1-0 pitch is a fastball at the top part of the zone. 1-1 count now to Juan Teixeira. Pretty quiet in the fourth. Boyle looking to make it a quiet start to the fifth inning with 2 outs and the bases empty. Teixeira waits on a 1-1 pitch from Boyle. Taking his time, here it comes. This one a line drive to left. Coming towards the line is Riley. He dives and he got it. In shallow left field. Good catch from Brandon Riley. That's how this inning concludes. Bottom half of the fifth coming up. Paddleheads lead 19-10 on ESPN Radio Missoula.
Away from your radio? Stream Paddlehead Baseball live on 1029ESPN.com. Now back to the ballpark.
Leading off the home set, catcher number 23, Andrew Noviello.
About to get started here at the bottom of the fifth. Andrew Noviello has come into the box for the Paddleheads. First pitch of the bottom of the fifth is fouled away. Noviello, Patrick Chung, and then Brandon Riley. Scheduled 3 in this half inning with the Paddleheads up by 9. 19-10 the tally. 0-1 to Andrew Noviello. The pitch 0-1. Breaker finds the zone on the outside. 0-2 quickly on Noviello. Noviello, as a Paddlehead, is yet to be retired. This is his second game. He's doubled, singled, and walked tonight. 2 for 2. 0-2 pitch on the way is up and in. Fastball. Coming relatively close to hitting Noviello. Last night, Noviello went 1 for 1. A double. Brought in a couple of runs. Also had an RBI from a sacrifice fly. 1-2 the count to Noviello. The pitch. This one a fly ball, dead center field. Jorgensen looks to have a beat on it and does. Backpedaling for out number 1. Medium depth center field. Last couple innings, it seems like Jorgensen has had a lot of activity out there. Patrick Chung will now be the hitter. Patrick Chung 1 for 2. 2-run single in the first, also had a sac fly in the second inning. Bases empty, 1 out. The pitch on the way is a bit high for ball 1. Nelson still out there on the mound. The starting pitcher, Matt Gabbert, did not make it out of the first inning. Paddleheads with that humongous 14-run rally. 1-0 pitch, ground ball, first base side. Good stop at first by Wallstad. It'll go to the bag. An in-between hop at first, but he is able to gobble it up for out number 2. That's a tough play. A hopper right towards the bag. You have to time that scoop perfectly to make the play, and Wallstad did for the second out of the inning. All of a sudden, the offense for the Paddleheads the last couple innings has gone pretty quiet. After all that success in the first 2, Missoula has only had 1 hit since the second inning. First pitch, Riley hits a pop-up into shallow center. Going out is Dudois, coming in is Jorgensen. It's Jorgensen, the center fielder, tracking it down for the third out of the frame. 3 up, 3 down. Paddleheads have only seen 1 base runner get on the last 3 innings. To the 6th we go. 19-10 is the score.
Your home of the Missoula Paddleheads.
Well, I guess you could say that offense for the Paddleheads tonight has been either feast or famine. We've had 2 innings where everything was rocking and rolling, cooking. The last 3, it's been all quiet on the Western Front. Same can be said about the Boise Hawks. All 10 of their runs came in 1 inning and were held scoreless in every other frame. So what will the 6th bring? We're about to find out with Nate Boyle still on the mound facing Jacob Cruz. Cruz, Raymond Gill, and then Ryan Wallstad in this half inning. The Paddleheads leading 19-10. First pitch is up high from Boyle. Boyle came in with 1 out recorded in the 3rd and has had it since then. Be interesting to see if he is sent out for another inning after this or if this is his final frame. The 1-0 to Cruz is outside. 2-0 the count. Obviously, some of that would be predicated on Boyle's success and how quickly he's able to work out of this inning when looking at the pitch count. The other side, we've seen Byron Smith eat up a bunch of innings for the bullpen tonight. We've seen a bullpen arm now do that twice in this series. After a starter was chased in the first inning, the 2-0 was cut on and missed towards the outside. Looks like Cruz was a bit out in front. Cruz, a part of the rally in the third, brought in the first run of that 10-run inning. Was a bases-loaded walk for Cruz. 2-1 is the count. Here it comes. This one a ground ball, just foul to the right of the first base bag. 2-2, kind of a interesting backdrop tonight. Don't often see too much when the sun goes away in this ballpark, but we're getting these little glimmers of light up in the mountains beyond us due to some thunderstorms in the area that have passed us by, but lighten up the sky every so often. The 2-2 pitch on the way. This pop-up on the right side of the infield, now going out in shallow right center is Patrick Chung. He has it for the first out. That pop-up carried out into the outfield a little bit further I thought it would initially, but Chung had a beat on it, tracks it down easily for the first out of the frame. As Cruz is retired for the second time, now 0 for 2. This sends Raymond Gill to the plate. Gill having a nice night offensively. He has a team best 3 hits, 2 singles, and RBI with a double in his last at-bat that led off the 4th. Was stranded in that inning, though. First pitch to Gill. Swing and a miss. Out in front a bit of a pitch towards the knees. Good spot from Nate Boyle. He just continues to impress out of the bullpen. He's really been on a nice roll his last couple of outings. 0-1. Target outside from Noviello. Base is empty, the pitch. Ground ball towards the middle. Willman, a diving stop behind second base from his knees, and the throw is in time for out number 2. What a play by Cam Willman. Almost directly behind second base, throws out Gill from his knees. Holy cow. That was world class from Cam Willman. You will not see a better play anywhere. Fabulously done with a strong throw to first to get Raymond Gill. Wow, what a play that was as Ryan Wallstad comes into the box. Flashing the leather. Man, oh man. First pitch to Ryan Wallstad is a strike at the knees on the inside corner. Ryan Wallstad's also been on base 3 times. He has drawn a pair of walks along with a 2-run single. 0-1, base is empty, 2 away. Boyle looking for another 1-2-3 frame, thanks to some defense behind him. Ground ball through the right side, right as I say that. Base hit for Ryan Wallstad. His second of the night. He's been on base now 4 times. Trevor Minder comes into the box now as Wallstad has kept this top of the 6th alive. 2 Ks and a fly ball for Minder so far. 13th hit recorded by the Boise Hawks. That's their first hit since the 4th inning when Raymond Gill doubled to start the frame. Had a hit taken away moments ago by Cam Willman. 2 outs. The first pitch to Ryan Wallstad. It's a ball hit center field. Drifting back a bit is Keaton Greenwald. He's all over it. Out number 3. Side retired as Minder flies out to center field. So it's just the single from Ryan Wallstad in the inning, and that is it. Score remains at 19-10. Paddleheads with the advantage on ESPN Missoula. New pitcher is out for the Boise Hawks. It is Mitch Lyons taking the ball for the second night in a row. Taking over for Nelson, who was out there for quite a while. Keaton Greenwald leading off the inning. First pitch from Lyons misses down low. Thought of Mitch Lyons as starting pitcher, but has appeared as a reliever 2 nights in a row as the 1-0 pitch hit high in the air, right field. This one going towards the foul line, and it is a fair ball, bouncing up against the wall. Greenwald will stride into second with a double. Just a fly ball going right down the line, hit to the right spot as Teixeira wasn't able to get to it. So that's a leadoff double for Keaton Greenwald. One of many contributors tonight offensively, Keaton Greenwald. That is his third hit of the night, as Nick Gatewood stands in, having already recorded 3 hits. Gatewood went 3 for 3 last night, 3 for 4 tonight. Nice stretch for Gator. RBI chance here in the bottom of the 6th, trying to add on to this lead. The first pitch to Gatewood. Fastball, you bet. Strike on the outside from Mitch Lyons. 0-1 the count to Nick Gatewood for Mitch Lyons out on the mound. This is his 19th appearance. Ground ball right towards the middle. Defense was there, though, as Minder fires to first for out number 1. Seen the shifts from Boise, where they've shifted towards the right with left-handed batters in the box, and that shift did the trick. That ball almost hit off second base, but with Minder being right there, it was an easy play for the first out of the inning. It was a productive out as the runner moves up to third. So runner at third, less than 2 outs for Jason Newman coming up. What a night it's been for Jason Newman. The first pitch on the way to Newman. This a fly ball, center field. Jorgensen's going to have to race in. He's not going to get there. This bloop gets down in front of him. This will score. Greenwald from third, and the fans get the peanuts that they were looking for. Stay hot, Jason Newman. He's recorded 7 hits now in his last 2 games. He is 5 for 5 tonight with 4 RBIs. And he gets the fans some peanuts. How about that? Paddleheads are now 3 for 3 with the peanut inning in this series, opposite the Hawks. My guess is Boise's going to be having nightmares about peanuts on their way home. Now 20-10. First pitch, Lamar Sparks a big rip, 0-1. Fastball towards the inside. Sparks let it rip, but came up empty. Sparks, 2 hits, 2 for 4, with Newman on at first. 20th run and 21st hit for Missoula. The 0-1 delivery is below the knees. Paddleheads will need to have some rallies coming down the stretch to match a couple of season highs. Hit total season high was 29, so a ways to go for that. That came in a game against the Voyagers. 1-1 pitch, down below the knees. 2-ball, 1-strike count. This is, however, the 3rd time the Paddleheads have scored at least 20 runs in a game. Did so once against the Glacier Range Riders, once against the Great Falls Voyagers, and now once against Boise. Paddleheads, if they were able to hang on coming down the stretch, also would move their record to 6-0 in games against the Hawks. The 2-1 to Sparks. Another big rip. and a miss. And a fastball. 2 ball, 2 strike count to Lamar Sparks. 4 RBIs for Newman tonight, inching his way closer to triple digits. He has 95 ribbies on the season now, having already surpassed the all-time record for home runs in a season this past weekend with his 27th on Sunday to Newman. Them getting close to triple digits. The 2-2 pitch is apparently low for ball 3 to Sparks. That was a well-executed pitch right around the knees from Lines. Needed not get the call. Surprised that Sparks didn't get rung up there for the out number 2. But again, Newman with the RBI total. Them approaching triple digits. 3-2 pitch as the ball popped up into shallow right. Teixeira coming in, going out is Dudois, the second baseman. It's Dudois that makes the grab for the second out. Lamar Sparks retired. Now 2 for 5. Cam Thompson stepping in. And the question will be with the RBIs, will Newman be able to chase down the RBI record in the Pioneer League that was set last season by Matt Feinstein of the Idaho Falls Chuckers? Feinstein last year had 116 RBIs, so it's going to take a great effort from Newman, but it's reachable, possible. You never know. First pitch, Cam Thompson taking a strike on the outside corner, right on the black, 0-1. But just the fact that Newman has a chance to break all-time league records for home runs and RBIs in the same season is just absurd. 0-1, a run in this inning thanks to Newman to make it 20-10 in the 6th. The 0-1, Thompson takes another. Same spot, same results. On the black on the outside. Different pitch, though. A breaking ball from Lines. Count quickly now 0-2 on Thompson. Thompson, 2 hits in that first inning, a walk in the second, 2 for 3. In an 0-2 count with 2 outs with Newman on at first. Mitch Lines to the dish with the 0-2. This one fouled off the end of the bat. Lines attacking that same spot towards the outside. Maybe a hair further out off the plate. There is some activity going in the Paddlehead bullpen. Nate Alexander is up throwing. Looks like it will be Alexander that will work the 7th for the Paddleheads in relief of Nate Boyle, who just continues to throw well out of the pen for the Paddleheads. It's been fun to watch him blossom for the last couple of weeks. The 0-2. Ground ball to the right of second base. Dudois will go the short way to Minder at second. 6-4 fielder's choice, and that's it for this half inning. Jason Newman gives the Paddleheads some peanuts, though, in the 6th. RBI base hit makes the score 20-10. Missoula rolls on with more action after this. karaoke. If you're going to pick one to kind of tie everybody in, Sweet Caroline, definitely a good call. It's one of those tracks, it's timeless. Probably, when you come to a ballpark, when I'm old and crusty, 40 years from now, we'll still be hearing it. Sing on with everybody knowing the words. Nate Alexander has come out of the bullpen for the Paddleheads, so work is over for Nate Boyle. And what a successful stint it was for him out of the pen. Jordan Rathbone starts off this half inning, and he swings and misses at a pitch on the outside. So Nate Boyle, 3 2/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, no runs, continues his stretch of fabulous work. So the 0-1 to Rathbone is just low. Even count at 1. Nate Boyle now, in his last 13 2/3, has not given up a single run on the mound. 1-1 pitch is up high. 2 ball, 1 strike count. That, to me, is just fabulous stuff. And he's been able to have that prolonged of a stint, not giving up anything. And it's been a lot of long stints like that also, as Rathbone fouls off the 2-2 from Alexander. Alexander, another guy similar to Boyle that's had some extended stints out of the bullpen. Alexander, 24th appearance, 46 Ks and 38 1/3 for Alexander. The 2-2 pitch to Rathbone is a ground ball to the left side. Willman has it at shortstop, takes his time, throws out Rathbone at first for out number 1. Rathbone trying to put some heat on that play, but was thrown out clearly. This Rathbone is now 1 for 4. Much more routine than the out we saw Willman record with Raymond Gill in the box in the last inning. A diving stop at shortstop on a sharp ground ball, making a throw from his knees for an out. One of the best defensive plays we've seen all year. First pitch to Haloa Dudois, called a strike. Fastball, 0-1. Dudois is 1 for 3. A base hit in the 3rd inning. Great defensive play also in Dudois' last at-bat, the 0-1, called strike 2 at the knees. Was a diving grab by Brandon Riley, coming into shallow left, also shading towards the line. To end the 4th inning, count 0-2, Alexander coming home. This one foul to the left. Alexander fastball has pretty good life to it, 92-94 on the gun, with a good amount of downward bite to it. It's just what you're going to see for the most part from this Paddlehead bullpen. 90s plus mile-an-hour fastballs. 0-2 pitch, foul, straight back. Pitch towards the inside corner. Dudois looked to be on top of it. Fouled it straight back. Top of the order, and Tyler Jorgensen waits next. The Paddleheads way out in front, 20-10. The 0-2 with 1 out. This one, a check swing and a pitch down below the knees. No swing, says Stu Bertrand at third base. Pretty darn close. That was pretty darn close. Obviously, I don't have the best vantage point being behind home plate. It was a breaking ball low and in. And Dudois barely kept the bat back. That would have been an interesting one to see a second look. The 1-2 pitch, this is a ground ball again to the left side. Thompson with it this time. He throws on to Newman right to the glove for out number 2. Dudois retired. He is now 1 for 4. 2 ground balls to the left side of the infield in this inning, as we will now see Tyler Jorgensen jump in. Good bounce back evening for Tyler Jorgensen after being quiet in the first 2 games of this series. Tonight, though, is 3 for 4. Couple of RBIs. He recorded 2 RBIs in that 10-run rally in the 3rd. First pitch, a called strike, bottom of the zone. Borderline pitch, called a strike, 0-1. Fastball sinking and moving away from the left-handed batting Jorgensen. Top 7, 0-1, 2 outs, the pitch. Fastball outside. Count even. We'll come to you from Memorial Stadium tomorrow as this series shifts to Boise over the weekend. The 1-1 pitch to Jorgensen. Fastball is high. 2 balls and a strike the count now. As the Paddlehead bullpen looks to keep this run of success going in this series opposite the Hawks. For the most part, when relievers have come out there, Boise's offense has gone dead quiet. 2-1 pitch, called strike on the outside corner, right at the knees. Good pitch from Alexander. Now in a 2-2 count. If Jorgensen gets aboard, Sakara waits in the on-deck circle for Boise. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Alexander from the first base side, the pitch. Fastball up and away. Bit of an overthrow, looks like, from Alexander there. Trying to put a little bit more mustard on it to blow it by Jorgensen, but it missed off the plate. Easy take, now a full count. Working quickly, the payoff with 2 outs, fouled straight back. Fastball right out over the meat of the plate, just a challenge in a 3-2. Jorgensen was able to get the bat on it to keep himself in this at-bat. Just a quick road trip out to Boise, the 3 games, and back in Missoula after an off day on Monday. Here's another 3-2 pitch to Jorgensen. Swing and a miss. Fastball off the plate away. Strike 3 and the end of the frame. 2 ground balls and a strikeout for Alexander, part of a 1-2-3 7th. Time to stretch for the bottom of the 7th. Paddleheads lead 20-10.
Hi, I'm Dave Lapham. I was motivated to have surgery because I can no longer do the things I love doing without the pain. I had a total knee joint replacement surgery, and I'm so happy with the care that I received. The surgery went so well, I was up and walking within a few hours and went home the next morning. I would recommend Missoula Bone and Joint to anybody who wants to keep being active without the constant pain. I loved having surgery at an outpatient setting so I could recover at home, and I can't wait to get back to my outdoor activities.
ESPN Radio for Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. We now return to Paddlehead Play-by-Play on ESPN Radio.
We're back. 7th inning, bottom of the 7th, about to get going. Mitch Lyons continues his stint out of the Boise bullpen. He will face Cam Willman to start things off in this half inning. The first pitch of the bottom of the 7th is cut on and missed. Pitch on the inside corner, 0-1. Willman, Noviello, and Patrick Chung, the scheduled 3, the bottom third of the Paddleheads order. 0-1, Lyons to the dish. This one dips down below the knees. So far, the story of this game, the first 2 frames. The Paddleheads jumped out to a 19-0 advantage. Just been cruising ever since. 1-1 the count. The pitch, Willman takes a curve from Mitch Lyons down below the knees. I will give credit to Boise. That rally in the 3rd has showed that they weren't just going to go quietly into the night. After taking one on the chin, showed some pride and battled it out, had a great inning, a 10-run rally. The 2-1 swing and a foul tip into the glove of Rathbone behind the dish. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cam Willman so far, 2 for 4. Retired in his last 2 at-bats, though, after reaching twice in the first inning. The 2-2 offering on the way. Slow roller to the left of the mound. This one will be fielded, but there's no play. As Sakura coming in at third base, didn't have a shot to get the speedy Cam Willman. Reaches on an infield single to start off the bottom of the 7th. As Andrew Noviello will now be the batter. Noviello, 2 hits and a walk so far. Finally recorded an out. Fly ball in his last at-bat to Jorgensen. Very good speed on it first with Willman. Wallstad playing off the bag behind him. As Mitch Lyons delivers the first pitch, this one on the outside corner at the knees. Looked to be a changeup from Mitch Lyons and a good one, 0-1. Hit for the Paddleheads, their 22nd. Still 7 off that season high of 29 from a few weeks back. 0-1 to Noviello. Mitch Lyons sets at the belt. Here he comes. This pitch misses off the plate. Count even at a ball and a strike. And that's one thing that will be tough also. This stint of games continuing between these two teams coming up is that this bullpen has really been leaned on the last 2 days for Boise. 1-1 offering is swung on and fouled straight back. That was a changeup right out over the plate that Noviello couldn't quite time up correctly. That was a mistake. Got away with it, 1-2. Give credit to the Hawks also, buckling down after everything fell apart in the first 2 innings. Paddleheads have only scored 1 run since that barrage in the first 2. 1-2 to Noviello. This one swung on and fouled off to the left, sailing over the top of the concourse. Next week, a 6-game set at home. Idaho Falls coming to town for the last time this season. That'll be a big series. I'm sure the Chuckers will be playing with a chip on their shoulder in that, trying to make a statement in the second half. Kind of announce to the Paddleheads and the rest of the North that they're a team to be reckoned with, as the 1-2 pitch is outside. And anytime the Paddleheads now face off against those teams in the mix in the North, one thing for sure, because they're fighting for their playoff lives, is that you expect to see those clubs put their best foot forward. Try to make themselves a threat for the playoffs. The 2-2 pitch fouled off again by Noviello, off to the left. Whereas other teams in the North, watching that series from afar, I'm sure will be rooting on the Paddleheads, trying to beat up the Chuckers, so to speak, so other teams can come to the forefront. As it stands now, it's a 3-team tie atop the North in the second half. Aforementioned Chuckers, the Paddleheads, the 2-2 to Noviello, gets past the catcher Rathbone. Willman will move up to second base. As the count is now full, also to Andrew Noviello. This is a great at-bat with nobody out in this half inning, making Mitch Lyons throw pitch after pitch. Three-team tie atop the North at 12-8. Aforementioned Chuckers, the Paddleheads, then the Great Falls Voyagers. It's entering action tonight The 3-2. Line drive. Look out, Ryan Whithorn. Foul on the first base side. Ryan Whithorn made it look easy, jumping out of the way of that one. Just kind of a quick little skip out of the way of that baseball. Ryan Whithorn was an infielder also, so sure he is not too intimidated by his balls screaming at him. Maybe he was more thinking about maybe sticking out the hands to try to stop it than trying to jump out of the way. At least that would be his first instinct. Here's another 3-2. Noviello bounces one slowly to the first baseman. Wallstad will flip to Mitch Lines, covering the bag for out number 1. Lengthy battle for Andrew Noviello, but it's won by Lines on the mound. It was a productive out as Willman moves up to third base. Patrick Chung. Now to the dish. Chung hit a ball right to the first baseman Wallstad in his last at-bat. Just took it to the bag himself to record an out. 20-10 lead for the Paddleheads, bottom 7. Infield coming in across the board for the Hawks. Lines, sets, and throws. Fastball, top of the zone, strike 1. Ten runs on 13 hits for the Hawks. 20 runs on 22 hits for the Missoula Paddleheads. Only one error combined for both clubs, and it was committed by Boise. 0-1 pitch from Lines on the way. Misses off the plate. Count even at a ball and a strike, and we have seen a pinch hitter come out on deck. Was Brandon Riley's spot, but it looks like Jared Akins will be given an at-bat coming down the stretch. May see Brandon Riley take a seat for the rest of the night also. Makes sense to get Akins up, get him a bat or two, keep him fresh. 1-1 with the infield in, coming to Patrick Chung. Swinging a fly ball, left field, right to Cruz. Let's see if they test him. Here comes Willman. Cruz's throw coming in is to the left, and Willman scores easily. So Patrick Chung does the job. Fly ball into the outfield, gets another run in for the Paddleheads. Sacrifice fly makes it 21-10. Touched on it being a football night of sorts with NFL preseason action getting kicked off. Kept seeing football scores as this game has rolled along. Seen 3-0, 7-0, 20-10, now 21-10. Coincidence? Who knows? First pitch to Akins is a foul at the plate. Fastball was up and in, but it inadvertently went off the bat of Akins. Foul to the left side. So 2 outs now and the base is empty after the sac fly that brought in Cam Willman. Bottom 7. Akins was in the starting lineup last night for the Paddleheads. Had an RBI double as part of the action. 0-1 pitch on the way. Curveball left up high by Lines. Count even at a ball and a strike. There is nothing happening in the Paddlehead bullpen looking down the left field line. So I would imagine that means more work for Alexander. A ball and a strike, the count to Jared Akins. Here it comes. Swinging a pop-up. Going into shallow left fields is Cruz, and he puts it away. Was Minder coming out? Looked like it was going to be him at first, but Cruz calls everybody off, and that ends the frame. Run comes in to score. Sac fly from Patrick Chung, his 9th ribby of the year. Makes it 21-10 Paddleheads on ESPN Radio.
Now back to Paddlehead Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Radio Missoula.
The 2-3-4 hitters are coming up for the Boise Hawks here in the top of the 8th. Abraham Sequeira starting things off against Alexander. The first pitch is up and in. As we return in the top of the 8th inning, Allegiance Field, Ogren Park, series finale between the Boise Hawks and the Missoula Paddleheads. 1-0 to Abraham Sequeira. This one a fly ball, shallow left center field. Coming in is Brandon Riley. He's not going to get there. That little bloop gets down for Abraham Sequeira. Got off the end of the bat, did Sequeira, on that fastball towards the outside, but the flare falls in for a base hit to start things off in this half inning. Sequeira, another time on base for him. Juan Teixeira now stands in. A single is part of that rally in the third, but that's been it for him to this point. 1 for 4, with the Hawks trailing 21-10 here in the 8th. First pitch on the way is a called strike towards the outside, 0-1. Alexander having allowed his first base runner now, the man at first. The 0-1 pitch, fastball, you bet, strike 2. Right on the outside corner. Good spot to Teixeira. Jumps ahead quickly, 0-2. Alexander, good amount of sink and run on the fastball. Definitely a guy that can induce a deck ground ball. Looking for that here. The 0-2. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Looks like Teixeira will give himself up for out number 1. There being a runner on at first base also, not a chance to try to advance to first to complete a strikeout. So that is out number 1. Teixeira fooled badly at a pitch well below the knees, chasing it out of the zone. As Jacob Cruz will now be the hitter. Cruz, a walk with the bases loaded to bring in a run, but 0 for 2 otherwise. Alexander sets at the chest. The first pitch is foul. Look out towards the Paddlehead dugout. Ricocheted off of protective netting near the dugouts. Everybody's okay. Ball ended up ricocheting onto the field of play, so Tyler Elliott's going to have to go out there. Does so quickly so we can keep action moving. 0-1 now. Pitch on the way is a fastball that misses up high. And I'm hearing that cheer come back for the second night for Cruz in the box. Fans yelling "Little Bat," making fun of the size of his bat. Doesn't look that small to me. One pitch is a ball fouled straight back. A ball, 2 strikes the count. But I guess anything you can do to try to get into the opponent's head. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Because there is a contingent fans that come out to games and they make it their plan to try to get into the opponent's heads. 1-2 pitch. This is a ground ball hit right to Willman on a couple of hops. Flips to Chung for 1. On to Newman. 2. Double play. Routine twin killing. 6-4-3. And just like that, the top of the 8th is history. We'll head to the bottom half with the Paddleheads out in front, 21-10. about to begin now with Keaton Greenwald approaching the dish. Paddleheads have done plenty offensively to ensure that most likely they'll be able to come away with a sweep in this series, having already put 21 runs on the board. Maybe they got a little bit more in them for the fans here at Allegiance Field. Send fans home happy on a Thursday night. Mitch Lyons continuing. First pitch, Greenwald rips it, but foul on the third base side. First pitch, a breaking ball on the inside, 0-1. And there's some activity going in the Paddlehead bullpen. Looks like Jason Newman is up, and he is. Haven't seen Newman pitch on the mound in quite a while. But a chance here to get him some work on the mound. The 0-1 pitch is a high fly ball into shallow center. Coming in for it is Cruz, the left fielder. He has it in shallow left center for the first out of the frame. Greenwald's 3-hit night most likely will end with a fly ball to the left. Here's Nick Gatewood. Gatewood 3 for 5 as it stands now. And touched on how we have not seen Jason Newman on the mound in a bit. First pitch to Gator is on the outside, strike one. Jason Newman, who's made 12 appearances on the mound. Pitch on the way, broken bat, pop-up, foul ground, makes its way out of play. Giving chase was Sequeira, the third baseman, but was into the first couple of rows. And the last time we saw Jason Newman pitch was all the way back on July the 22nd. So it has been quite a lengthy stint, where Newman, for the majority of the first half, was kind of the go-to guy in the ninth inning coming out of the bullpen for the Paddleheads in save situations. Had 6 saves in the first half. The 0-2 pitch is down low. And for a large part of that first half, Newman was up near the top of the Pioneer League in saves also, kind of bouncing back and forth with Montana Quigley. Pinch hitter has come out on deck. The 1-2 on the way is a ball reached for and fouled off to the left. The pinch hitter that has come out is McLean O'Connor. And I'm sure the reason why you're seeing O'Connor getting at bat is gives Jason Newman an opportunity to get himself loose in the bullpen for the ninth inning. The 1-2 pitch on the way. This one a line drive, diving attempt, but not gotten to by Minder, the shortstop. Base hit for for Nick Gatewood, his 4th of the night. It's now 4 for 6. It's McLean O'Connor will get an at-bat now with 1 out and a man on at first. What a night it was for Jason Newman overall. He'll come in to pitch the 9th. His work offensively went 5 for 5 with 4 RBIs. One of his best offensive performances all year. Here's Dell now, though. O'Connor took an 0 for 4 last night. First pitch to O'Connor, checks his swing, pitch misses low. Kevin up and down 2 games for him, the first 2. O'Connor had a couple of RBIs and 2 hits in game 1. Mentioned the night he had last night. Chance to get an at-bat here late with a runner on at first. It's Gatewood in a 21-10 game. The 1-0 on the way to O'Connor. Fastball high. 2 ball, no strike count. Been keeping an eye on other scores around the Pioneer League. All other action final around the league. Idaho Falls getting by Billings tonight, 7-5. Another win for the Great Falls Voyagers as well over the Range Riders. 2-0 pitch called a strike. So it looks like that 3-way tie will remain intact atop the Northern Division standings, as both the Voyagers and Mustangs have improved to 13-8 in the second half with wins tonight. And Missoula up 21-10 here in this game. 2-1 offering. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And what a big series that will prove to be next week for Idaho Falls. Paddleheads could really hurt the Chuckers' playoff hopes next week at home if they are able to keep it rolling. 2-2 to O'Connor. The pitch in the dirt, blocked by the catcher Rathbone, keeping it close enough so Gatewood doesn't take off. 3-2 is the count. This could be a spot where you see Gatewood take off. 2 outs in a frame. He surely would be on the move. But we'll have to see if Gatewood is taking off on this 3-2 pitch with only 1 out in the inning. O'Connor waiting from the right side, exaggerated open stance. The payoff. Runner doesn't go. It's a fastball up high for ball 4. And O'Connor will take the free pass as Gatewood advances up to second base. This will bring Lamar Sparks to the plate. Two base hits for Sparks tonight. A pop-up and a shallow right his last time, tracked down by Dudois, the second baseman. Bottom 8, 21-10 lead for Missoula. Trying to put the finishing touches on offensively. Lines pours in the first pitch down low for ball 1. Another action in the south. NoCo Owls got by Grand Junction 12-6. Doubleheader between the Raptors and Vibes was split 1 game apiece. Vibes winning game 1. Ogden victorious in game 2. Time called at the dish by Sparks ahead of the 1-0 pitch. One ball, no strike count as Sparks takes his time getting back into the box. Gatewood, the lead runner at second base. 1-0. Lines delivers. Fastball, strike, good pitch on the outer half. Right at the knees towards the outside. Middle infield and double play depth. Dudois closer to the bag at second than Minder is the shortstop. Going to be tough to double off Sparks. Has very good speed coming out of the box. Count even at 1 to Sparks. Target inside from Rathbone. Here's the offering, 1-1. Broken bat, line drive right to the shortstop, and that's all they'll get. Diving back into second base is Nick Gatewood. As Minder puts it away, Sparks got sawed off right around the handle of the bat. Bat went sailing out into the field of play as well, ended up to the left of the pitcher's mound. That'll get your attention, 2 outs. I believe that's the second bat that Sparks has broken tonight also. Here's Cam Thompson now with 2 runners aboard as Mitch Lyons tries to keep a run off the board. Missoula has had 1 on the last 2 innings in the 6th and 7th after the absolute onslaught in the first 2 frames. First pitch to Cam Thompson, a soft line drive into left field, a base hit on 1 hop. They're going to stop the runner at third base as the throw comes in from Cruz in left, but a base hit from Cam Thompson will keep this inning going. Also will load the bases. Cam Willman now to the plate. Getting a shot here with the bases loaded. Willman trying to improve upon what's been a solid night overall. Touched on the great play he made defensively, a diving stop at short. And offensively, he has had 3 hits and 4 RBIs. 3 for 5 First pitch, Willman takes just below the knees for ball one. "24 hits now for the Paddleheads, paired to 14 for Boise. 1-0. This one a fly ball, shallow right field. Coming in on it is Teixeira. He has it all the way. That's it for this half inning. Paddleheads leave them loaded here in the 8th. Do not bring anything home, but it's a lengthy advantage. Sizable, I should say, advantage. 21-10 lead for the Paddleheads. On to the top of the 9th we go here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park.
ESPN Radio for Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. This is Missoula Paddlehead Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Well, it's been a while since we've heard Billy Squire come on the loudspeakers, but we have a dead man sighting. In the 9th inning, it will be Jason Newman coming out to try to get the last 3 outs for the Missoula Paddleheads to send everybody home. Obviously not a save situation for Newman in a 21-10 ball game, but an opportunity for Newman, who hasn't been on the mound in a few weeks, to get some work, see if he can get things rolling on the hill. 6 saves for Jason Newman coming into this action. For Newman, this is 13th appearance, 12 innings, 10 Ks, 3 hits, or 3 walks rather. First pitch, Newman pours in a strike on the outside part of the plate. Raymond Gill, Ryan Wallstad, and Trevor Minder, 5, 6, 7 spots in this half inning, the 0-1. At the bottom of the zone, strike 2. Fastball running away from Raymond Gill. Fastball in a great spot from Jason Newman. Kind of a 3-pitch guy is Newman. Fastball, breaking ball, and a change. The 0-2 pitch, this is fouled away. Fastball towards the outside. Newman's at his best, so we'll see a 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball. This breaking stuff can really be nasty at times. Raymond Gill, great night at the plate, 3 for 4. The 0-2. Not chasing a breaking ball off the plate here. Not a bad idea from Newman. Well ahead of the count, 0-2. Hoping that Gill would go fishing for that one out of the zone. 1-2 the count. Newman, the right side of the rubber, comes home. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball. Comes right off the table. Strike 3 and the first out of the inning. Raymond Gill laid off at once, went fishing the second time, as Ryan Wallstad will now be the hitter. Wallstad has been on base, and each time he's come to the dish. He's got 2 hits and 2 walks and an RBI. 2 for 2. First pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball towards the outside corner. 0-1, 1 out. Newman working quickly. He's got some good rhythm. The pitch, a fastball, another strike towards the outside part of the plate. 0-2. So far, Newman throwing darts here in the 9th inning. 0-2. Here it comes in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Because that would just be another thing going Missoula's way with their bullpen arms. Touched on the success of Nate Boyle, 13-plus innings. Scoreless baseball, Sam Hellinger. 8 saves, 5 of them here in the second half. He's been great. Nate Alexander, the 1-2 pitch is just high from Newman. But if Newman can really get it rolling again, that just gives Michael Schlack another option. Oh, and by the way, have the reigning Pioneer League Pitcher of the Year, Mark Simon, also in the bullpen. 2-2 is swung on and popped up. Right side, now in the center of the diamond, Cam Willman has it. Almost directly behind the pitcher's mound for out number 2. And with Newman going to the mound, this routinely happens. Nick Gatewood was the DH, is now the first baseman. 2 outs, 2 quick outs recorded by Jason Newman. Last gasp in a 21-10 ball game is Trevor Minder. Minder, who is 0 for 3. The first offering, Newman sees this one, called a strike right on the black. Fastball 0-1. That's been, to me, the best sign for Newman. His fastball command, well located in this outing. 0-1 is just outside. Been keeping the ball down and right on the corner to jump ahead of hitters early in the count. And he can do that with the fastball. Look out. 1-1 is just low. Fastball sinking a bit off the plate. Because that fastball, if he can get ahead with it, really sets up the breaking ball especially. 2 outs, top 9, just 1 out left. The 2-1 on the way. Breaking ball, called strike 2. Wraps around the inside corner. Minder gave up on it almost right away, and it was right on the inside. Hawks down to their last strike. Fans trying to help Newman to a win. The 2-2 pitch is forthcoming. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Fastball up above the hands. Strike 3 and a 1-2-3 inning for the dead man. Paddleheads win this one running away. A 2-inning stretch was more than enough for the Paddleheads on this Thursday night, and it will be a long road trip back home for the Hawks. Paddleheads will be coming at you next time from Boise Memorial Stadium, but at least a little bit of time for the Paddleheads to celebrate before hopping on a bus to head out to the Idaho State Capitol. But the Paddleheads wrap up this one with a win, 21-10 the final. We'll come back to wrap it up after this.
Go inside the world's most popular sport with ESPN Missoula's new podcast, Soccer and Stone Smoke. Join me, Andrew Houghton, for interviews, analysis, and stories from all around the world of soccer.
The Glasgow Rangers side